no me without you. I had to go get a drink. I got me a drink. And I'm so happy that you are here tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. On the block with Jen. We know what it is. If you haven't done it already, hit that like, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe. You already see the comments are on fire. You see the comments are on fire, mi gente. But this is the question that I had to ask. I had to ask this question because I see this narrative and this theme over and over and over again. And it has seemed to be revived with the announcement of Jennifer Lopez being engaged yet again to Ben Affleck, yet again and again, because she was just engaged to the baseball player. Okay, so I got my drinky drink. I want y'all to get comfortable. Okay, get comfortable because we're going to argue tonight. But we're going to argue like family, right? But I know y'all going to argue with me tonight because y'all not going to like what I got to say, right? But the proof is in the pudding. You know me. I like using evidence, right? There's nothing more sexy than evidence to me. We can all have opinions, right? You're like assholes. We all have opinions. But we're going to talk about it tonight. Okay? We're going to talk about it tonight. Body count, body count, body count, body count, body count, body count, body count. How many people has she slept with? Body count, body count. I don't want to know about her body count. I want to know about her body count. If she got a high body count, she's less than. Okay? I need her to be damn near a virgin when we meet. Right? We've heard that over and over again, and it's been revived with Jennifer Lopez's engagement announcement. I've seen everything from how dare Ben Affleck settled for that whore, that Hollywood whore. How dare he? He has his pick of the litter, and here he is picking a woman that has been with everybody and has a high body count, right? According to her very public, very, very public relationships that she's had over and over again, right? Yeah, that she obviously doesn't give a damn about what you guys think because she's constantly promoting whoever she's with and whoever she's engaged to. So I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot. Okay. Everybody's talking about this engagement, and it all comes back to body count, right? So let's talk about body count and the theory I have about body count. And you guys that come argue with me, okay? And don't get excited. It's just cranberry juice. Okay. I drink everything out of a wine glass or a champagne flute because I'm fancy sometimes. So listen, I'm going to drop the link early. Okay. Because it's late. It's kind of late for my people on the East Coast. It's not that late for me. It's only 8 o'clock here on the West Coast, but I know it's late for y'all. So y'all may want to get in on the action early. Okay, you finish running your errands, you finish hanging out. It's been a beautiful day today on both coasts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's been a beautiful day on both coasts. So now we chill, we ran our errands, we went on our dates or whatever. Yay, 11:11. We ran our errands. So now we're gonna kick it a little bit with family. We're gonna be arguing tonight. Yes, we are, because you're not gonna like what I got to say. So let me read the first, yay, super chat of the night, and then I'm going to get into this. And then I'm going to see, okay, what y'all harping about in these comments, because the comments started early. The fellas have a lot to say about this, but that's okay. I'm ready for y'all tonight, okay? Me and my cranberry juice, we ready for y'all, okay? So, Il Doctrine, thank you for the first super chat of the night, says, men who are focused on a woman of interest body count are possibly not broke, but this fear of competitiveness is an expression of impoverished masculinity. Okay. Interesting. So they may not actually be broke, but it is an expression of impoverished masculinity. That's very interesting. Il Doctrine, can you break down, can you elaborate what is impoverished masculinity? If it's not brokenness, then what is impoverished masculinity? How do you impoverish a masculinity that's not broke? Very interesting point you made. I just want you to elaborate, okay? Haran DeMarco asks, what's a high body count? That's another good question. That's another good question. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I heard, if you're 18, you should only have 2 or 3. If you're 20, 30, or 40, can't be over 50. I don't know. That's what we're going to talk about tonight, along with my theory. Okay? Along with my theory. Is body count a broke man's gripe? And I'm going to explain to you why I feel. You guys can argue. I dropped the link early. You guys can argue why what you think that I think is wrong. Okay? And I see that, it's fireworks already in the comments. So Aaron B says, do you think rich and successful men want women with a high body count? That's a great question to start this stream with. Great question to start this stream with. And I'm going to answer you. I am going to answer you. Okay? I am going to answer you, Aaron B. Aaron B, do you think rich and successful men want women with a high body count? Aaron, I don't think rich and successful men give a rat's damn about a body count. That's what I think. I think rich and successful men's priorities are really not the turnstile that their woman's vagina may or may not be. That is what I think. I think that's not a priority for them as it would be for a man who is not rich and successful. This is my theory, but I'm going to keep peeling the layers back. I'm going to keep peeling the layers back, okay? I'm just saying. What's up, Reese from Philly? Love Nature, what's up? So Love Nature is going hard. He's going hard tonight. He said whores, right? And depending on what man you ask, right? Everybody has a definition for a whore. But Love Nature says whores have value also. Remember, one man's whore is another man's princess. This cranberry is good. Okay. Alpha Omega says studies show. What studies, Alpha? Studies show the more body count before marriage, the more likelihood of divorce. Studies show. What studies, Alpha Omega? And I would like to know who they, which demographic of people they, got the stats from, right? Studies show, right? That's I love that phrase. Studies show essential water is the best water. Studies, right? What studies? What studies show this? What studies? I don't know. What studies? Let's see what else. Oh, we got Haran DeMarco backstage. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna bring y'all up early. I'm bringing y'all up early. Alpha Omega follows up with women with 0 or 1 previous sex partner before marriage were least likely to divorce, while those with 10 or more were most likely to divorce. The Atlantic. I guess the Atlantic is the source that he's using. The Atlantic said virgins, because women with 0 body count is a virgin. So Alpha Omega says virgins are less likely to divorce, or just one with 1 previous sex partner. This is what he's saying. Okay, according to the Atlantic in 2018. All right, come through with them stats. Michael De Jesus says, I'm not the biggest fan of J-Lo, But to be fair, no one can question her work ethic, nor can anyone ever say that she has been in major trouble personally and professionally, right? Michael, that's a great point. The problem is that no matter in this society, especially in this country, no matter how accomplished a woman is, her whole life boils down to what she does with her vagina, right? That's what happens here. This woman made her own way. I'm not particularly a J-Lo fan. You're not going to see me running to watch her movies or buy her albums, right? She's not one I check for as far as an artist. I think she's an entertainer, not an artist. There's a difference, okay? She's a hell of an entertainer. She's in the 9 figures, I believe, already, worth a lot of money. But that doesn't matter, Michael De Jesus. What is she doing with her vagina? That is how we work in this country, okay? But that is a great point. Her work ethic is bananas. So Tyrone Church says, don't think about body count because it hurts the person that asks. But why does it hurt the person that asks? Why do they want to know, and why does it hurt them, right? So let me read Ill Doctrine's comment before I bring up Haran, because I'm sure Haran got something to say about this. Ill Doctrine says men are innately competitive. Competition exposes competitors to experiences of anxiety and ideas of unfitness. Body count is a strategy men use as a reason not to compete or be fitness checked. You dropping some gems tonight. You dropping some gems, because again, piggybacking off that comment that you just posted, a man who is wealthy and successful is not only prepared to compete with whoever, right? But qualified to compete. And if you notice, wealthy, rich, successful, famous men have no issues or qualms with waiting for that girl to finish her rotation so he can pick her up. And we have many, many examples, do we not? We have men who are hellified bachelors, attractive, wealthy, famous. We got Michael B. Jordan's, we got Drake, we got Kanye. The list goes on and on and on. We got Ice-T, right? We got all these famous, wealthy men who are just waiting for that girl. And a couple guys I know personally who have dated the video chicks, the Instagram models. And we all know that those girls get around in the industry. But some of the cats I know, they just waiting for their homework to be done so they could jump in there, right? When you look at a Kanye who got with a Kim, everybody says she had her own money, but still they call her a whore and a hoe because it all boils down to what she's done with her vagina, right? And yet and still, he wanted her. But for her, he had his pick of the litter. Could have got any woman on the planet. Could have got him a virgin. Could have got him like Alpha and Omega said, the one with a 0 body count or the one with only 1 body count. Kanye could have had his pick of the litter. He chose Amber Rose, a stripper from Philadelphia, right? And after all, Amber Rose, he picked Kim Kardashian, a woman who was well known, right, and gained infamy by a sex tape. And Kanye said, out of all the women in the world, I could go to church and get me a virgin, okay? I could have my mama hook me up with somebody, right, who's demure and, you know what I'm saying, and well-read. No, he wanted the quote-unquote industry. Oh, so are we not seeing a pattern here? I don't know. I see a lot of people in the manosphere and the red pill and the YouTube streets talking about body count. In what tax bracket, though? So I'm going to bring up Haran DeMarco because I've said enough. I'd like to have testosterone up here. He may rebut. He may agree. Let's see. I don't know. I'm just talking about what I see, people. Don't hate the messenger. I'm just talking about what I see. When I see guys go for 3, 4, 500 comments talking about what's too high a body count for a woman, when I check their page, I'm like, you're really not in a position, I feel, to talk about someone who's as accomplished and wealthy as Jennifer Lopez or a Ben Affleck. I'm just making observations, folks. Don't hate the messenger. So without further ado, I will bring up Haran DeMarco and see.
Hey.
Say, what's up, Haran?
What's going on, man? You can hear
We
me?
are good. It is a good night. I feel good. I hope you feel good. I hope everybody in the chat is doing good. But I wasn't gonna come on tonight, and then I saw all this buzz, and I was like, no, we have to address this. What is going on? You know what I'm saying? Don't let this distract you from Chris Rock got slapped in the mouth the other day. But let's get distracted and let's have some fun tonight.
It's a good distraction, a good break.
It's a great distraction. And the celebrity rumor mill and the celebrity scandal mill is literally, it's a conveyor belt, right? We don't care for
I
too
mean,
long.
literally is. I mean,
Not
that's his job.
really. You don't care for
It's
too long.
it's entertainment within entertainment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, sir, what's up, POP, mi amor? You came. What's up, Tyrone Church? What's up, the great eye? Before you speak, Haran, let me throw the great eyes comment. He says Ben Affleck is a poor example. So because he's stupid enough to marry a woman with all that baggage, that means the average man must emulate this behavior. That's his comment. Now, I welcome all comments. I don't know where he got the average man should emulate that behavior. I didn't say that one time. Did I say that? I didn't say that. I think everybody should marry, date, and pursue whoever their little heart desires. If finding a virgin is your thing, get to church, get her early, get in there, have fun, have a great marriage. You know what I'm saying? Try not to wild out too much when you're cheating on her because she lays there like a fish. But everybody's entitled to get whoever they want. Okay, little body count, big. The world is yours, Tony. Okay. But no, I'm not telling anybody what. Listen, we're just talking here. We're just shooting the shit. We're just talking. I'm not, anything said here does not does not require worship or follow or deemed as gospel. I'm just making observations, fellas. Observations. Haran DeMarco, welcome. What say
Yo.
you?
Well, first of all, man, it's 11:26. Let's just cut the bullshit, fellas. Okay,
Let's cut the bullshit.
let's just call it what it is. Let's not cap. Right now, Il Doctrine and I, as per usual, we're on the same page. You know what I mean in terms of our perspectives. Okay, look, listen. Um, I'm just gonna throw out a few things before I throw out a actual scenario.
Okay.
First of all, first of all, if you're over 35, if you're over 35, and whatever woman you meet, if you think this woman should or does have a body count of like four people, you're an idiot. You're a complete fucking idiot, man. Okay, like no one's waiting around for you. Okay, you don't have some sort of golden phallus. You know what I mean? Their life isn't going to come to some sort of, grand circle the moment that you step into it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just sex. All right. No matter how incredible it is, it really is just sex. You're forgetting about half of it about maybe 2, 3 days after. But anyway, so I'm gonna present to you a scenario.
Please do.
I knew a girl. You know what I mean? Great girl, man. A woman of demure. She was well put together, good girl. She was getting married to a guy. Guy was proud of her. You know what I mean? He was, I wouldn't say high status, but You know what I mean? He was well put together to some degree. You know what I mean? Great family, you know, she was marrying into. You know what I mean? The quintessential uh, good girl, respectable perception that a lot of us like to say, like, yes, this is the pinnacle of what a woman should be, and this is how a woman should behave, fine, fit, feminine, all that. She was all that. You know what I mean?
You could
And
bring her home to mama and everything.
oh yeah, she was soft spoken and everything. And you know what I mean? I met the guy, you know what I mean? I was like, hey man, great dude. You know, he was proud to have her on the arm. I was like, great, wonderful. Little lady, you know, who used to be a call girl, and I knew that. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything, but you see, here's the point of it. He didn't know, and the perception wasn't there. See, it's about the perception. No, you got a problem with J Lo because in your mind you think you know what's going on. You've seen her with this dude, that dude, that dude, that dude, that dude. See, most dudes got no problems with hoes as long as that nobody knows. That's a little guy code I put on you right there.
And you can you say that again?
Like no, most niggas don't got problems with hoes just as long that nobody knows she's a hoe.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Don't let these dudes fool you, man. Don't let these dudes fool you. I done been around the block. I've seen it 100 times. Let's, like I said, it's 11 something. Let's just cut the shit, fellas. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, number two. Number two. Again, let's just stop with the unrealistic expectations. These women don't have like one or two kids, and these guys expect a woman to be a virgin. Like, come on, man. Like, no, that's just not how it goes. Second of all, me personally, I don't ask people's body count. I don't care, man. I don't care. And to piggyback off of Il Doctrine's point and my point, me personally, yes, I'm a very competitive man. Yes, men by nature, you know, I mean, especially men who are particularly aggressive. You know what I mean? We're competitive by nature.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? But I'm not concerned with who she's been with like that because I'm very confident in what I bring to the table. Ain't no problem with me like that. So it's just like, yeah, okay, cool. See, I'm gonna give you another scenario. I'm gonna tell you like this. And if any man and if any man tells you otherwise, he's full of shit. Okay.
Uh-oh, guys.
Now, well, I want it like, okay, we'll give you a scenario. Dude finds out his girl
Mm-hmm.
cheated on him or whatever. You know, he finds out he's thinking about two things.
Mm-hmm.
He's listening. He might be listening to the whole story. He might be being told the whole story, and then he finds out like, yeah, he might have, might have more bread than him, blah blah blah. But guess what? If she tells him and admits to him, like, oh yeah, your dick is bigger and you're better in bed, he's not gonna be as mad.
Ladies, y'all hear that? That's how you get out of cheating.
He's not gonna
That's
be as mad. I'm not saying that's how you get out of cheating. I'm saying he's gonna
absolutely.
take that W. He's gonna take that W. It still might be over, but he's not gonna feel as bad. He's gonna be like, yeah, he ain't put it down like me though. You know what I mean? He might have a Ferrari and all that other shit, but nigga, I'm that nigga. You know what I mean? And so on, excuse me, and so on and so forth. But again, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, we have to be very clear and honest, about some things. And the core of the argument that I'm presenting to you, it's the perception and how it looks on the guy. That's what they're worried about. Oh, she has a high body count. It's not really necessarily about her. It's really about how does this reflect me? If she slept with these many dudes, if she's been around, blah, 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 I'm gonna look like a simp. I'm gonna look like this. I'm gonna look bad. So it's not really about her. You can give less than a fuck about her.
So I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to ask you a question, but first I want to address this comment here, which I think is hilarious. Love Nature says the Lakers were loaded with has-beens and it did not work out for them. So the reason why I want to address this comment in particular, first of all, it's funny. But second of all, Jennifer Lopez, give or take, if you trust a Google check of a net worth, she's worth under $500 million, 400
Right.
million. And you can think that it's very believable because she has production companies, she's doing music, she's doing film, she's doing dance reality shows, she's doing reality shows, she has artists under her. So it's not hard to believe that the woman, after being in the business 20 years, is worth $400 million, right? Similarly, Ben Affleck is worth, give or take, 150 million. So who's the has-been, Love Nature? Are you talking about Ben Affleck or are you talking about Jennifer Lopez? Because Jennifer Lopez is still touring and Ben Affleck is in and out of alcohol rehab. So I don't know. I don't know what has been you're talking about. And the reason why I want to address this is because we can feel how we want, right? We can feel like, oh, she's a whore, right? We can feel how we want. But at the end of the day, the tangibles are the woman is worth $400 million and counting. Okay. She's successful, whether we like her damn voice or not. She's successful as a singer. Whether we like her acting a lot, she's successful as an actress. Whether we like her reality shows or not, they're spinning on NBC, right? So those are the tangibles. Now, can you not like her just because she represents something to you? Yeah, you can not like her. But the tangibles are, in other words, you have to salute the rank, not the woman, but the rank, right? Same thing with men. Some people may not like how Diddy does, his stuff, but you have to salute the rank, right? You have to salute the success. Some people may hate how 50 Cent acts online, but you have to salute the rank, right? The one with the most toys wins, and that's a reality. So that I don't really know, like a has-been. I want to be a has-been worth $400 million.
Let me tell you something. Look. Let me tell you something. There's some days I'd rather be. I'd love to be a has been with $400,000. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like, yeah, we can have our gripes, like I said, body count, a broke man's gripe, perhaps. We can have our gripes, but then we have to we have to salute the rank. So let me ask you a question, Rob, because you said something interesting. Men don't have a problem with hoes long as no one knows, right?
Yep.
Now, what do you make of the topic where all these men are wealthy and successful, claiming these women, impregnating these women, walking into parties with them on their arm, waiting for that guy to be finished? When we look at somebody like Lori Harvey, oh, she's a host. She's been with, Trey Songz, and she's been with blah, blah, blah. She's been with Drake, and she's been with Diddy, and then she was with Diddy's son, blah, blah, blah. And Michael B. Jordan was like, shit, are they done yet? Are they done? Because I got next. Now, Michael B. Jordan is in a position to walk into a church, get himself a virgin who's well-read, who's studious, who wears her turtlenecks up to here and her dresses down to her ankles. He has that opportunity. He said no. When Trey is done and Diddy's done and Diddy's son is done and he's done and that guy's done, I got next. And not to hit, but to claim, to open up an entire hotel room with roses and balloons and let the world know.
I know where you're going with this. And you know what?
Well, you tell me. You tell me.
Actually, I'm gonna say something right now, and I think I know where you're going with this. Let's put it this way: if my career is in, y'all might, a lot of dudes might see it differently, but it benefits Michael B. Jordan a lot more to be seen with Miss Harvey than it actually, benefits Harvey. Because if you take a second to think about it, before that, when it came to before he got with that girl, there was whispers of him, only wanting to sleep with, white women and exotic women. And he was right at the cusp of really, his brand really building. And sisters were the bottom of, they were the foundation of his brand. So if you kind of really think about it, that was a smart move. I'm thinking it was a PR move in some ways. They said like, yo, let me get this chick, by all accounts, a very nice looking woman, black woman, so on and so forth, love bomber, do all kinds of crazy shit or whatever, and show that, yes, I am, and I have no problem being in a relationship with a black woman. There's a reason why Denzel, you never seen really Denzel in a movie kissing on a white woman.
Why is that?
Well, he said it himself. Sisters are his main target audience. So he's not
Okay.
going to do that. That one of the reasons why I think way back in the days, I think he was I don't know if he was supposed to or they suggested it, but that he was supposed to have, I guess, some sort of maybe love scene with Julia Roberts, and he put the kibosh on that because he was like he didn't want basically sisters seeing him, you know what I mean, like that. Now that's the first part of what just my answer to your question. The second part is okay. Look,
You
when
know
you're
I'm
playing
gonna push
at that
back.
level,
You know I'm gonna push back on that first part, but go on.
no, go ahead. The second part of the question, the second part of the answer is, look, listen, man. When you're playing at that level, you got different concerns.
Speak on it.
And when your concerns not necessarily if like, yeah, is this chick, you know what I mean, this or that or whatever, and so on and so forth. Your concerns most of the time is like, am I having a good time? There was a reason why, there's a reason why Marilyn Monroe was, you know what I mean, being passed around and so on and so forth. There's a reason why these things happen. When you're working at that particular level, you want to make sure, like, yeah, this particular girl here is a good time. You don't think these guys talk? You don't think these dudes sit down and have conversations like, oh yeah, man, she do this, she do that, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Now, one person who is a prime example of that is Superhead, but ain't nobody wifed it.
Right. Well, yeah, no, they did.
Who wifed it?
What's his name from
Oh, what happened?
for Family Matters? What's the gentleman's name?
Okay, no one important wifed it. We're not going to talk about Eddie Winslow. Okay,
Right, Eddie Winslow.
okay, no one.
Married twice, I think.
We talking about Michael B. Jordan puff level. Since we're not talking about
I got you. Fair enough.
Eddie Winslow.
Fair enough. So
You know what
let
I'm
me
saying?
push back.
So yeah, that's my point.
Let me push back a little bit. A little bit. First, I think Michael B. Jordan was attractive enough and mainstream enough to where he didn't have to cater to any one demographic. That's just my opinion, right? My opinion. Could be wrong. My opinion. But I understand what you're saying is good for the brand because Black women were starting to chatter online like, oh, he only likes exotic women or white women or whatever. Like, what about us, right? There's always that what about us factor. But why not, if it was a PR move, and it very well could be because these celebrities are constantly making PR moves. I don't believe in all these relationships being what they are, right? They've been doing it since the beginning of Hollywood. Men were in relationships with women and they were homosexuals, but it was good for the brand, right? Celebrities are still doing that to this day. So I get it. That's not far-fetched to me. But why not get with a Black woman who didn't have the reputation that Lori Harvey had and who was not going to be at a party with those players? Because Michael B. Jordan will be at a party where Diddy's going to be at, his son's going to be at, where Trey Songz is going to be at. These circles, they all run, you know what I mean, in the same conveyor belt. So why, if you're just trying to fix the brand, right, why not get a Black woman who quote unquote is not considered a celebrity, you know what I mean, dick hopper? He specifically chose that woman. He chose. He had a choice. Again, why choose her? Even for the brand. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I think he just thought he was gonna have a good time with that, and he just wanted that. I think that's what it was. I'm gonna go with that because there were times when I mean I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I mean, I told you before I had my stint in the industry, and yeah, I mean there were certain women who were about servicing the circle. And she might have been a little bit known. She might have been a little bit known, but in at some point in time, you at the end of the day, you might just want your turn. It could be just as simple as that. Could it be more complex than that? Maybe, but it could also just be as simple as he might have just wanted his turn. Plus, I mean, she looks great. You know what I mean?
She's a cute girl. I'm not taking that from her.
Yeah,
She's a
she
cute
presents
girl.
well. She presents well. You know, so on and so forth. Another thing too is that
She spends that Steve Harvey money very well. She does. Very
and another thing too is that that's not often discussed is that a lot of rich men they wife up prostitutes and call girls, man. They take
yes,
them out of that life.
yes, they do.
A lot of men, but then again, like this go see a point.
I mean,
Broke
Trump
men,
did it. Trump did it.
this go see a point. Broke men and rich men have different. They got different priorities. They got different perceptions of a particular thing. Like, you know what I mean? You know, if now imagine one of these manosphere dudes, any one of these manosphere dudes, classic manosphere dudes with their manosphere talking points
Right.
in a room with Jeff Bezos trying to give him game. Let's just imagine that shit for a second.
Right. Let's imagine. Let's imagine that.
Let's just imagine that shit for a second. Him telling Jeff Bezos, "Oh, you shouldn't mess with such and such because she's a 304 or blah blah blah," hitting him with all kinds of fucking manosphere fucking points. Jeff Bezos, one of a dude who literally can give God a loan. Okay, who can literally give God a loan and forget about it.
Right.
Like, yeah, just see me when you get it. Just see me when you get it back. You know what I'm saying, man? Imagine that. So it's easier to cling to these ideals, you know what I mean, when you're in a particular space. Trust me when I tell you, man, when you working with a particular kind of money and you in a particular kind of circles, look, man, I know dudes in political circles. I know high level tech sales dudes. I know real estate dudes like pulling in like 9 figures. These dudes don't care, man. Dudes love the hoes. I'll keep it a buck with you, man. Like, I keep it 100. Like,
when I say it's a tax bracket thing, they get mad at me.
like dudes ain't hoes. Hoes is out here eating, dog.
When I say it's a tax bracket thing, they get mad at me. They're like, no, it's a hoe thing. And I'm like, it's a tax bracket thing. And you can't relate because you're not in that tax bracket to understand. It doesn't matter to them, to those men.
I keep it above with you, Jen. As an older man now, you know, I mean, I'm a much more responsible individual. But you know, as a younger man, if let's say if I was in my 20s or even maybe even late 20s, even 30s, I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like if I was worth like 30 or $50 million, I'd have been dead in like 9 months, man. Like I'd have been dead. They literally probably would have. They literally.
Always getting smashed.
Yo, like they literally probably would find me under a pile of hookers and cocaine. Like it literally probably would be like that. But
At least you're being honest.
And look at it like this, man. At the age that I'm at right now, if I put it in your hand, and when I say it, we know what it is. If I put it in your hand and you sitting there like nibbling on it, and you trying to be respectable, I'm like, come on, man. I'm not here for that, man. I know going in, if I know a girl who's who's been around the block a few times, if I put it in her hands, she gonna make some magic happen, man. She gonna be Houdini in this motherfucker, man. That's why you here. Like,
right.
That's why you here.
This comment from Demetrius Higashikata. Welcome, Mr. Higashikata. He says, I don't think that's destructive or bad to call out pitfalls in society. If we agree that society's failures are attributed to men, that means men should be more strict. Okay, he got a little heavy there.
Michael B. Jordan is a simp. Like, how is Michael B. Jordan a simp?
This I have to disagree with. And I know we love the hit the wall or over the hill, but when you're in that tax bracket and you look the way they look, there's no such thing as over the hill, and here's why. Because Jennifer Lopez could walk in anywhere and get a man half her age. Did you hear what I said? I didn't say younger. I said half her age. Matter of fact,
so let me ask the question.
One.
Let me ask every dude in here a question. If Jennifer Lopez, if you had a shot with J-Lo, you wouldn't take it? No, let's talk real right now. Every dude in the comment section. Every dude in the comment section, if you had a shot with J-Lo, would you take it? Right now. Put your ones up. Put your ones up if you would take it. If you would take a shot. If you wouldn't, put your twos up. Watch these niggas start lying.
Nicole said, hey, two high-value people of substance that have been through it in life have found love again.
See, Tyrone is keeping it a buck. Tyrone is keeping it a buck. He's like, yo, shit, I throw it an 11 up. Like, yo.
Love Nature said, all those Lakers are banked up. Aaron B says, Michael B. Jordan is a simp. Is he, though? Is he?
What is a simp? What is a simp? What is that?
Aaron B., elaborate what a simp is to you and how Michael B. Jordan qualifies as a simp. Sheesh. Like, I don't know.
There should be a rule. There should be a general rule that anybody you call a simp, if you can't beat his ass, then you can't call him a simp.
I like that.
I keep it a buck with you. I think a lot of niggas will actually call what you call it, Russell, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Ciara's husband.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people who call him a simp, I don't even think they could whoop his ass, really.
Probably not.
You know what I mean? So if you can't whoop somebody's ass, don't be calling nobody a simp, man. don't do that.
Kendall Rowland, I forgot about this. Kendall Rowland said she was with Bill Maher for a minute. I think he's talking about Superhead, and they were out in the open. They were like,
let me tell you something. About Bill Maher. The funny thing about Bill Maher, you probably did too. I heard some wild shit.
Yeah, yes, I did. I know.
About Bill Maher. I heard some wild shit. Shit, I would be like, damn, dog, that's a little much.
He's an interesting individual. I wasn't surprised. Rich white man. You know, if there's a rich white man and he didn't have a gerbil up his ass, I'd be shocked. But it's a rich white man. So I'm like, of course, Bill Maher did what he.
It's really dope, Jen. Like, you and I can have these kind of conversations. Like, we can kind of signal each other, and you know what I'm saying while that's actually saying.
I done heard. What's up, Reese from Philly?
What up, y'all? What's poppin'?
Coming up so late. Love Nature says, let's take bets on whether or not Ben marries Jen. I am going with no, he will not actually go through with it.
Y'all know what a simp is, yo?
A what?
A simp.
I don't know, because it changed. What's up, Sugar Bum? I don't know, because it changes all the time. So what is a simp? Because a simp changes depending on who you're talking to. I don't.
Simp is an acronym. It's
for
suckers. Yeah, suckers who idolize mediocre pussy.
Oh my!
I found it out. I found it on the internet. You can't make that up.
Suckers who idolize mediocre. I cannot with these people.
I found it.
I can't with these people. Super chat rate. Second super chat of the night. Ill Doctrine says, rich and successful men don't want women with high body counts. Random black manosphere. Am I a joke to you? Anna Nicole Smith.
I want to talk about body count for a minute.
There you go. Again. There you go. There you go.
Hey, when you're 52 years old, body count is kind of silly to be worried about that. I don't even know why I hit that motherfucking link for real. But there's a few things. Any man on earth who asks a woman her body count is a goddamn idiot. If you think there's a breathing woman on this planet gonna be honest about her body count, you're just a fool. You know what I mean? And me in particular, me living in the shadows and being the other guy, I want the most notorious whore I can find. You see what I'm saying? Because Michael Jordan's jump shot was wicked because he practiced for hours and hours and hours. You see what I'm saying?
Tell him, man. See
So
what
I
I'm
want
saying?
Jordan. If I'm creeping and I'm the other
See
guy,
what
I
I'm
want
saying?
Jordan. You see what I'm saying?
Reese? See what I'm saying, Reese? Man.
It's a wicked game out here, dog. This is Planet Horror, whether you like it or not. I've been all over. You asking somebody about their body count, you setting yourself. Why would you? Here's another thing, right? Why would you set a woman up to lie to you? It's like you want to be lied to. There's certain shit you just don't ask if you don't want to be lied to. And that's one of them.
That's it.
Body count wasn't even a phrase 20 years ago.
I like this definition for simp because it's what I've seen the most evidence of. So Il Doctor says simp is any man who has sexual access to a woman who the user of the word finds attractive. I gotta agree with that. Because
and you want to hear something funny? Women I meet in their 50s and 40s have lower body counts than the chicks I meet in their 20s and 30s. And they've been on the earth longer. That's a fact.
Why do you think that is?
Because the sexual habits changed. It was like a sexual revolution in the 90s, and that's when everybody started threesomes and playing with buttholes and having sex parties and all this other all this brand new shit that y'all be doing. I'm considered corny out here, so I can't wait for the freak show. I'm calling into that one. You better believe that.
Kendall said, unfortunately, a simp is somebody who loves a sister and is willing to accept whatever situation that comes with being with her.
You know what I noticed, man? Let me tell you something.
I feel like Il Doctrine's definition.
I was telling somebody the other day, one of the things I miss, man, in our music, man, black music in particular, man. Yo, we used to simp more, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Keep sweat.
Like we used to simp more. Like, like I was listening to not freaking you. I was listening to Fiending for You. You know what I mean, by Jodeci. And when he start that joint off talking about take my money, my house, and my cars, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's about the most simping ass line ever, but the shit hit so hard.
Babyface said he could cook your dinner after work.
Damn right he did.
Exactly.
After he get home from work. That is bullshit. That's beyond simping right there.
Every time Babyface is in town, you damn right.
But I will say this, man, the music was better back then. Now the music is just like brothers is like, they don't even want to give a chick a hug now in public. Like they don't even want to like admit they actually like a chick. Like dudes will be more like dudes seem more affectionate with their boys than they girl nowadays, man. Like this shit is weird. Like that's my man. That's my man. That's my man right there. Like that's my man. That's my man. That's my man. They're like, yeah, that's your girl. Be like, yeah, you know, we hang out a little bit. We hang out a little bit. Like, yo, it's just not the same level of energy, and it's very weird. It's very weird, man.
Every time somebody hit a game-winning three-pointer, it's an orgy on the floor and shit.
Jesus. So, gentlemen, going back to what I said, body count of broke men's great. Who's asking about body count? Who cares about body count the most? Wealthy men are not asking about body count. Wealthy men, as we've seen in the industry, and not only the entertainment industry, we even talking, you know what I mean, Bezos and what have you, right? Allegedly, that chick has also been around, right? So is it a broke man's gripe? Or broke men are the ones always complaining about body count? And furthermore, when I hear, like the gentleman mentioned earlier, well, you know, women who have zero body count, which means, what's a zero body count? I don't know. I guess he means a virgin. Or one with one body count stay married longer. I don't believe that. Probably married and cheated on more, but I don't know about married longer. I would find that strange. Is this all wrapped up in the M word and misogyny to begin with? Like, is this all wrapped up in misogyny to begin with? Like, a woman can't use her vagina the way a man uses his penis because there's, you know, women are supposed to have their legs closed and stuff. Is this just some fucking old school misogyny? Is that what this is?
Who wants to
I
answer?
think it's all bullshit. You remember those old Maury shows with the unique couples? There would be a 60-year-old chick, 7 feet tall, with a midget that was 25 and he was fat. None of that shit means nothing, man. Only misogyny. What the hell is that?
Well, again, Jen, again, like I said before, it's really about perception and presentation. You know, for example, hey, let me use somebody else as an example. We didn't talk about them enough. Um, okay.
Wait, what did I miss?
We
Wait,
I,
what did I miss?
I'm not. I was talking about some stuff. I was talking about some stuff. You go back and rewind the tape, brother. Anyway,
That bad?
Oh, we
I
were talking
mean,
about gerbils up and asses here, Tristan. You late.
Hey, do y'all know who the
What?
Sultan of Brunei? Y'all know who the Sultan of Brunei is?
wait. Let me get this point out real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me get the
I
point
don't
out.
understand. I'm confused.
Okay, so we have especially back in the 50s and the 60s, you know what I mean, Jen and everyone, we contend that there were a lot of, and it still happens today, there were a lot of men who were leading men, and one thing a leading man couldn't be is a homosexual. You know what I mean? Most
Right.
of the time, you know. So what would they have? They give them their so-called beard. They, you know what I mean, the woman is literally on payroll, so on and so forth, because the perception of this person who is a leading man, and as a leading man, he has a quote unquote responsibility to live up to the ideals and the perception of what a man should be, how a man should behave, how a man should perform. Because at the end of the day, he's a leading man, and men want to be him, and women want to fuck him. So in order to keep the money train going, that perception has to lay there. The same thing with, okay, let's just say that's a heterosexual man, you know what I mean, and his wife, his wife, you know what I mean, if she's beautiful, you know what I mean, especially if she's a beautiful woman, if she does not represent everything that a woman should be, which is quiet, which is, you know what I mean,
I'm out.
beautiful. She's only had sex with one person, literally just one person.
I'm out.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, even if she didn't have sex with anybody, but she gave birth to children, even better. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If she immaculately conceived, even better. You know, and everything that goes under the sun, you know what I mean, in terms of what a woman should be, and she should also have a size of her feet should be a size 3. Should have a size 3 foot, and she walks on butter everywhere she goes. She walks on clouds that give off butter. You know what I mean? She floats. Okay, and that is the perfect concept of what a woman should be. And if it is found out that that woman is not anywhere near that, and if that man is a man of prestige, if he's a quote unquote high value man, they tear him apart because they'll call him a simp, they'll call him this, you chose a whore, you chose this, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. When in all actuality, you know what I mean, here's a funny thing. You didn't know what your mama was. You think your daddy gonna tell you?
Oh, he touching
You
the
think your
line.
daddy gonna tell you, and you gonna think your daddy knows what your mama was half the time?
Not the mamas.
You know,
He,
you know
he
what I
really
mean?
touching the line right
Like, cause I look.
now.
I knew an
My
old
mother is
school
a
dude.
virgin, sir.
I knew an old school dude. I knew an old school dude who showed me some older lady, you know, well older than me at the time, and she was a respectable woman, church going woman, so on and so forth. He was like, oh yeah, man, yeah, she was a real good time back in the days. You know, she kept the whole football team company. I said, oh shit.
Oh my.
But hey, you know what I mean? The perception that she's a church going woman, she's a woman of the cloth, she's a woman of faith. You know what I mean? She has a respectable life and so on and so forth. It is what it is. So this is really about perception. It's not necessarily about misogyny and so on and so forth. It's about perception and keeping up the keeping up appearances half of the time.
I like what Koja Malik says, an attempt at power collectively by powerless individuals, and it's pseudo power. It's like I said before about the manosphere. It's pseudo masculinity. Like, it's not real. It doesn't exist outside of your panel. Like, it's not real. The power is not real. It doesn't exist when you log off, right? It's an imaginary world here where you could call someone like Russell Wilson and Michael B. Jordan a simp. But when you cam down, you know what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan is still a high value man who's attractive. So is Russell Wilson. Like, it's like, so it's not real. This is not, it's like, it's not real. It's like Fantasy Island. It's the Twilight Zone. But
Also, I think that's weaponized.
You have no power.
I think to your point, Jen, I get what you're saying, because maybe sometimes, and I've seen it even in the streets, not even against these individuals right here, these examples of men. I've seen it in the streets, man. You know, a brother might have a little bit more than another brother. You know what I mean? He might get a couple of more girls than he does, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And the moment those other brothers got something to actually harp on, or they see a crack in that armor, they start harping on that. And here comes the harpoons and so on and so forth, or whatever. And it's like, oh, your girl's a hoe, and blah, 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 yada, yada, and so on and so forth, or whatever it is, what have you. So I guess I can understand what you're saying in that regard. You know what I mean? It's the powerless, you know what I mean, trying to find something to empower themselves because they don't have the prestige and the status of these individuals.
Demetrius says, Demetrius Higashikata. I like saying that last name, yes. He says, and I'm not saying the Bible is bad. I'm saying white men tried to change it to manipulate their women. The Bible says that a man is to have with only his wife, sex only with his wife, and a wife only with her husband. Well, I'm an atheist, hon, so I don't care what you say about the Bible. I enjoy the Bible as a fairy tale book like Shakespeare or
Game of Thrones
or like Harry Potter. So the Bible has great stories, but I don't think it's gospel at all. I don't subscribe to it as gospel, but I think it is very entertaining, especially the three-headed dragons and stuff like that.
That story
we also have to keep in mind that here it is. You know what I mean? We're quick to call women of color simps. Excuse me, we're quick to call women of color hoes. You know what I mean? But we're not. Black men aren't as you know what I mean, down on white women as they are on black women or Spanish women. Like how many black men who date white women actually ask them their body count? And what if it was high? Would he respond in the same manner?
Their body counts are high. I've been at them campuses,
brother.
I've been at those campuses. It is wild. Them girls are wild. I'm telling you now.
You get some cocaine and some liquor in some of these women, and man.
So are you saying that Susan in marketing has a high body count?
Susan,
you want to hear about Susan in marketing from a corporate bartender?
After 5 p.m. on Friday night.
See, this is
you want to hear about Susan? You want to hear about Susan from marketing? Laid across my bar, butt naked, with people drinking shots out her belly button, and I know about Susan from marketing.
Might be the Susan I'm talking about. We probably talking about the same Susan, literally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets ugly, man. It gets ugly. But you see, white women are allowed to be hoes. They can clean up their act after that, and they can literally become Mother Teresa, and nobody says a thing.
Koja's dropping them. She said they cannot exert dominance financially, but they can. An example of my power and dominance is my woman won't or haven't screwed nobody else, so I am special. Let me drop the link because I think Koja wants to come up. I know
a lot of dudes that make money that's tricks, yo. It's a mixed bag. A lot of dudes that's successful, they do a lot of tricking. But then if you look at the Sultan of Brunei, he's one of the richest men in the world, and he only gets he tricks all his sons and nephews out with models that are under 25. You know what I mean? He gets them flown in from all around the world. Only the top ones too.
Roy Chess, what terminology is real? Roy Chess says no, the terminology is real. Ideas can be true regardless of the people uttering the words. I don't know what terminology, hon. You have to specify. We got Koja up. Hello, Reggie.
Hey, how you doing?
Really
Let's
good.
hear it.
How are you tonight, Welcome.
Oh, I'm good. Just looking at listening. It is a broke man's gripe. These men have no power. They didn't have lots of sheep and goats, but collectively, they can make their voice be heard by saying, "Women, we got to dominate your body count and your vagina." So we put the message out there collectively. We're powerful. And if I'm a regular guy or ancient guy, I could say, "My power is ain't nobody fuck my bitch." And that's how I exert my dominance. See, I'm powerful. I'm special because her body count is low. When we all know that if a man with money come along, that power will be gone. But that is their chest beating thing. I can't say I got cars. I can't say I got this. I can say I control that bitch pussy. I
Dang.
control one woman pussy who let me control it. And so therefore I'm a dominant man.
Put the
I
gun
need
down.
them flex bombs. I'm not gonna have to get them flex bombs.
Oh, but that's pretty much it. But with them religious texts, no matter what, remember, men edited those religious texts. And it's always crazy how they come out looking like the hero. So I don't care if you call it the Quran, the Torah, the Bible, or whatever. It was edited by men because we wasn't allowed to do anything back then. Or so. But even in Game of Thrones, all them rich bitches was fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking. It was only the poor people around there talking about being virgins and virtuous. Even in the Bible with Esther, who Jesus came through her lineage, she had to fuck the king because the ritual was he slept with all of them and they all became concubines. So it's a poor man's thing because rich men don't care. As a matter of fact, they pay for women who have fucked men and have experience. Ain't one of them royals right now under the gun because of what he was did with the Epsteins and stuff. So it's poor men trying to exert dominance in the only way they can, which is over women that are less powerful in a patriarchal construct. Because if the whole problem they got with women now is that patriarchy is dissolving and women don't have to fuck for benefits and they don't know how to handle that. But that's what I just wanted to add. I'm gonna hop on that.
Damn. How you gonna come shoot up the club and then leave? Like you just gonna shoot up the club and then
Well, I'm
leave?
gonna listen. I got a couple of things to do, and then I'm gonna jump back in. Okay. All right.
Thank
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome.
Sheesh, Koja dropped some heat. I'm like, yeah, she said it better than I could.
God damn.
I thought nobody could shoot more than Jen these last several months, but I have just heard probably that's a whole missile that she just launched.
That's what you gotta make Koja a meme. Roy just says the term simp and body count, etc. Those are ideas that have specific properties that define them. If the properties fit the term, stands for real. In other words, he's saying don't be messing with his word simp and body count because they mean something to him.
But they can't because the world doesn't because it's not in a dictionary.
Why is niggas worried about body count anyway? A virgin is in like what, the 8th grade now? They no virgin. What the fuck is everybody talking about? We need to have a global Bible burning, yo. That book is fucking people up.
Yo, he is about to get everything
Yo,
shut.
Reese,
He said
they want a woman to be like 35 with like 3 sex partners.
On what planet?
Or 1, 0 or 1 was the comment.
Eskimos don't even get down like that. Nobody on Earth gets down like that.
No, she is confused what a simp is. If all he is doing is smashing and not wifing, those women is not about control. Roy Chess is holding on. He's gonna die on that simp hill and on that body count hill. Someone asked, okay, moments when Mickey Red said, this is a fair question. Do folks really ask this question? Like, gentlemen, in your dating life, not now because y'all are no longer delusional, I'm sure. But have you asked that in your past? Have you
Never.
asked what's your body count? What's your body count, shorty?
Never.
Actually, one time before, I think, we were just me and a particular girl, we were shooting the shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it was somebody who I was Well, I was just dating, and she told me her count. It wasn't 50.
It was more or less.
It was more than that.
And y'all were just having like casual conversation, and she was like, "Hey,
yeah, and we both said, you know what I mean, what our count was. You know what I mean? We was just shooting the shit, and she told me her count. And after that, I was like, okay, cool. You want to go to the movies? She was like, yeah, let's go. Like, it was just some casual shit. I didn't sit there like, oh my God. Like, nah, come on, man. It was just like, oh, okay, all right.
I don't think 50 is a lot, yo.
I don't. Look, listen.
Yeah, I figured this out.
You gotta ease into shit like that, bro. Like, you gotta ease into shit
what
like
was
that.
that? We needed that after Kosha said her comment.
With the funk flex
Took me a
bombs.
minute to find it.
I'm too high for this.
With the funk flex bombs, man. Scared the shit out of me, man. I'm in the middle.
That wasn't Funk Flex. That was Vladimir Putin.
Right.
Tristan, don't do
well,
shit like
that's
that, man.
true.
Tristan, I'm in East New York right now, man. Don't do that shit, man. I'm in the middle of East New York right now. Don't be making them sounds, man. You got me
My
over here.
cats is tripping right now.
I don't right chest. I can't. I'm gonna pull out. I usually pull out the little cap for y'all, but I'm gonna pull out the big cap, the one I need.
I'm gonna bring the dragon John next time.
I'm gonna pull out the big cap for you. I think you capping. He's like, yes, women, real men, not the fake guys. Real men will ask that only when considering wifing the woman they are dealing with. The simps.
I gotta ask a question. I
I've been
gotta
asked
really
to be
ask
married 3 times. The man has never said, "I need to know your." What real man are you talking about? Michael B. Jordan, Jeff Bezos.
I gotta ask you a real question. I gotta say something. They're not
real men. What are y'all talking about right now? Y'all killing me.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing, and this goes for what is his name, Roy Chess.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. Let me tell you what real men do. Real men don't worry about how another man moves. Real men don't sit down and tell other men how to move. That's what real men do. There's this problem now where we've reached at this juncture where we have this template of a man type of shit going on. We're like, oh, if you're not doing X, Y, Z, and 3, 5, 7, and 17, you're not a real man. Like, who are you to tell me that? I have a stack of bills on the table right now. You know what I mean? Not one of your names are on it. Like who? You know what I mean? Like I remember one time before somebody asked me how old I was during my birthday, and I was like, everybody shut the fuck up. This is my house years old. That's how old I am. That's real man shit. Okay. Don't ask me no questions.
I am too. We didn't even touch the remote control unless my
like no.
Y'all have remote controls?
We have remote controls.
That's amazing.
I know he didn't just say that.
I was still waiting on color at 5 years old.
No, we had that little doofy one that was like a box. It wasn't.
Yeah, when it came out with remote controls, that's when we thought aliens invaded the Earth.
Oh, you had the one you could commit a crime with. You had them.
But then Haran gets mad when I ask certain questions and ageism comes up. See.
But you see, it goes back to what I said to you. We go, young man. It goes back to what I said. What the hell?
Okay, Roy Chess. I wanna, and I'm not getting on you. Like I said, everybody's welcome here, but I have to address this, Roy Chess, respectfully. He says body count is related to is the woman wife material. Simps go to the dictionary looking for a definition for simp. First of all, the word simp is just an insult that people use on YouTube. It's not real. Like it's like I want to tell you guys, it is not real. Outside of YouTube, simp is not real. The men you call simp are either attractive or well off or wealthy or successful. Like it's not real, is what I'm trying to tell you. The word simp is not, doesn't exist out of your arguments trying to get control over women that won't date you. Like the word simp it's not real, is what I'm trying to tell you. So you hanging on to it. And also another point I want to make about you telling another man what a real man isn't, okay? And respectfully, men on YouTube are effeminate now, right? Because you remember back in the day, it was women saying what a real man wasn't and was. Now men are using the real man thing. That's something we did. Women did that. Well, you're not a real man if, and you're not a real man if. And men used to get mad at us. But now men are using that against other men. And this is what I'm talking about, that social media is feminizing men, specifically Black men. Social media is feminizing men. Like men, that you're not a real man. That's something we used to do. And now men are using that against men, when men know if another man is in front of him, both of y'all got penises, that's a man standing in front of you, right? A man is a man. Anything with a penis is a man. Right?
Jen,
Fear that men are using that now, like what a real man is or isn't. That's effeminate. That's something women do. We do that. We gauge what a man is or isn't. You can't gauge that. It's weird.
Hey, Jen, actually, back in the day, the most time you would hear that phrase is when your father was giving you a lesson or something. He'd be telling you, like, yeah, real men do this, A, B, and C.
Oh, yeah, that was a different context. Absolutely.
Right.
But that was different. But to use it the way it's being used today by men, like a real man wouldn't say, a real man knows what a simp is. Like, it's not, the math ain't mathin'. It's like, stop. Like women.
I'll tell you what a real man is at the end of the day. I'll tell you what a real man is at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And a real man, and I have not seen this. I have not seen, or I have, and I have not seen it for the last couple of months. A real man would actually, you know what I mean, have his opinion, and it can be a contrary opinion in front of a group of other men who literally just want to follow, an idea, an opinion because, well, it's the cool thing to do. A man who can sit there on his square with courage and sit here and say that, no, this is where I stand because it's the right thing to do, and I don't care what you niggas say. That is a real man in my, you know what I mean, from my perspective. A man who is willing to basically put himself out there and stand on his square alone. How many of you are willing to really stand on your square alone and say that this is what I am, this is what I'm about, and if you dudes ain't messing with me, it is what it is. You know, far too many of you sit there and you check with the list and the diatribe that has been given to you by Rollo Tomasi, you know what I mean, that underachieving white male who handed down the game, you know what I mean, the game plan to a bunch of other underachieving black men, you know what I mean, on what a man should and shouldn't be. But what these dudes never sit down and really explain to you, or even ask you to do. How many of these men are actually really telling you how to fix your credit? Fix your credit. How to actually exist in a relationship, man. Do you know how to tie a tie, nigga? Simple things. Do you know how to do simple things? Like a book. Do you know how to buy a bouquet of flowers? Yes, there's a certain way and a certain understanding of taste in terms of how to buy a bouquet of flowers for a woman.
That sounds
like your wines.
Title. Do you know how to tie, nigga?
Like, seriously.
I heard my Ron DeMarco.
Like, do you know anything about romance? Do you know anything outside of clubbing a chick over the head? You know what I mean?
But they know what the word simp is. They know what the word simp is.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. It's becoming tired, and you're all sounding like robots, man. You're sounding like robots. You even got this faction to do what they call MGTOW. Like, seriously, how do you create and are proud to say in front of a group of people, I gave up on pussy? Like, who does that, man? Like, who does that?
Is that what that means?
Yes, men going their own way. Like,
going their own way sounds like an LGBT slogan or something.
I mean, it might as well be, Reese. It might as well be.
What does that exactly mean? Because it can't mean that. What does that mean?
No, it says men going their own way.
No, I know that, but men going their own way. What does that mean?
Well, it basically means without women, not getting married, not getting involved in relationships, not having any female contact, men going their own way. They basically put in their dick papers and say that, look, I'm giving up on vagina for the rest of my life. I'm clocking out and I'm going into the hills to find God knows what. And it's a very pathetic and sad thing, because
It
all
is
it
sad.
shows is
It's
that
sad. It's like
you've given up
basically
on
give up.
yourself. You've
Mhm.
given up on yourself. You've given and you've conceded to the fact that at the end of the day, you probably just weren't competitive enough to actually exist in the space to actually find a good woman. You don't have the patience or the wherewithal to actually work on yourself, to actually present a better version of yourself, so you can get the actually better version of the woman that you do deserve. A lot of
And this
dudes want
is
to
just, yeah, it's reject talk. It's like men who've been rejected a lot, but not because women didn't want them per se, but because they didn't deem themselves, the men themselves didn't work on themselves, right? That's
And
really,
this is what they'll tell you.
women reject men that they don't find attractive, point blank, period. Is 1 + 1 = 2. But men, certain men that are rejected, instead of trying to improve themselves, whether it's financially, physically, emotionally, being more, worldly, educating themselves more, becoming more interesting, instead they just find these little pockets of other men that feel like them, and they talk about the word simp and MGTOW and, you know what I mean, red pill. Like, instead of just improving themselves to be attractive to women, they find these little pockets where they can, like, yell at each other about how women aren't this, that, and the third.
You
And
think
they
these guys are lazy?
say again.
yes,
Think these
yes,
guys
I
are
do.
lazy?
Yes,
Jen,
100,000
do you
percent.
go to the gym?
Absolutely lazy.
Do y'all
Yes,
go to the gym?
yes, sir.
I've been going to the gym all my life, right? I
Live
have seen some remarkable metamorphosis in less than a year.
Mhm.
I've seen
Absolutely.
people come in the gym looking like chewed bubblegum and leave out of there lean in a year.
Just looking like an Adonis, just looking like a complete Adonis. Yeah,
Yo,
I've seen it.
we used to laugh at this fat guy because he walked on the treadmill for like 4 hours. But after he did it for like a year, this is a true story. We thought the nigga quit the gym. He lost so much weight that we didn't even fucking recognize him.
I can
He
admit,
had
I
to
can
she
see
had
it.
to come up to me and my homie and tell us who he was. He lost 100 pounds in a year, man, and became another human being. He was talking different, acting different. He smiled more. You know
So
what I mean?
Like,
you can improve yourself if you want women to be attracted to you. But I think some of these guys, they feel it's out of reach. It's lazy, like you said, and they just feel it's out of reach. Like, I'll never be tall. I'll never be financially stable. I'll never be, attractive. So they just, they become like they cocoon themselves, and then they find the other cocoons, and it's like, yeah, you hate women too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, she didn't want me either. She didn't want you either. Me too. We're over here. Then they form these groups because this comment, a simp by context. There is no context. The context is men who are rejected finding comfort. That is the reality of the context. There's no context.
Well, the simps to me are the guys. Simps to me, my fault. The simps to me are the guys. Like, for instance, my homie Diamond, right? She's a working girl, and she has guys that she keeps them hanging on with the hope for getting some pussy, and she'll do this. These guys will hang on for years, and she has a different guy for each one of her bills. This woman literally doesn't have to work. She gets up in the morning and does whatever the fuck she wants to do. She has a man for each one of her responsibilities. And those guys are simps to me. They think that they're going to get some pussy somewhere down the line. I'm Diamond's friend. I know that they're not. You know what I mean? And she will carry this on for as long as she can until they drop off. And when one drops off, there's another one waiting in line just like that. It's amazing.
Absolutely. He says, I don't know, Roy Chess. You're starting to bore me, and you're starting to look like you one of them rejects. You're boring me now. He says, on the block with Jen, that is incorrect in capital letters. I guess there's emphasis in the incorrect. You are confusing context with some emotional simp reply that a dude is jealous or unhappy about something. Therein lies the definition of what you're saying, though. Someone who is jealous and unhappy. No man who is not jealous and not unhappy and can get ass on a regular cares that another man is a simp. Do you understand?
I
One
like
plus
to ask that kind of question. Roy Chess, I like to ask him a question, Jen.
Dios mío, por Dios. No man who can get ass on a regular cares who out there is a simp or who out there is getting friend zone. Simp is just a new term for friend zone. Every 10 years is going to change. First it was friend zone. Now it's simp. In 10 years, y'all going to call it something else. But the essence of it is you being jealous or unhappy about your own rejected life and looking at other men who are successful with women and not liking it. It rubs you the wrong way. That's what it is. There, that's the context. No entiendo.
Are you aware that men that have my fault?
Super chat.
I just want to ask this dude Roy Chess a question. That's his name, Roy Chess.
Yeah,
I just want
but
to
let
ask him
me
a
do the
question.
super chat break first.
Okay.
Super chat break. Thank you so much, Michael Richardson, for the super chat. He says, Jen, my first marriage was for play, and I never asked body count. My second marriage is formal and long lasting. I'm 55 and never asked any woman their body count. Salute to you, sir.
You too old.
Like, who the fuck asks for? Who does this? Why is this happening? Go ahead, Haran. Roy Chess, if you're still here, Haran wants to ask you a question.
Yeah, Roy Chess, like, would you, if you were dating a woman and you had strong feelings for this woman, would you show this woman affection in public? Would you show affection in public? Would you love your woman in public?
So Roy Chess, that question is for you. If you were with a woman and you was in love with that woman, would there be PDA, public displays of affection? Would you be affectionate with her out in public where everybody can see you? That question is for you, Roy Chess.
That's a good question.
And I'll piggyback that up with saying, you know, I think again, this is a perception situation, you know, and it leads back to your original, your essential topic. You know, I think that a lot of these men find power in being stoic and emotionless and basically unemotional when it comes to women. Because one of the main things that they tell them, you know what I mean, in these spaces is that you should never, you know what I mean, tell these women how you truly feel about them.
Mm-hmm.
You should never really, you know what I mean, you shouldn't really show that much emotion, period. If you show a woman emotion, it's better male behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of these guys who are getting these ideas from these people don't really know that a lot of these people who are actually spewing this, these guys are actually married. A lot of these guys are actually married, and I'm pretty sure at some point in time, these so-called, you know what I mean, alpha males are taking out the trash and mowing the lawn. You know what I mean? At moments they don't want to do the shit, but they don't want to hear her fucking mouth, because that's just how a relationship and a marriage works sometimes. Sometimes right. As men, you just getting up and you're throwing out the trash because you know if you don't do it, this is going to be an argument. You know what I mean? So you do what it do, you know, you make it do what it do. It's about being in a relationship, man. No dude, there is no man ever in history, you know what I mean, who went through life being the quintessential perception of what these dudes believe what a man is. That's impossible. That is impossible. Like, I don't know if these guys are brain dead or if they need to believe.
It's a weird dynamic. It's weird. I get it. I just don't understand how they don't see it, how they don't see what it is. I get what they're going through, what they've been through, and why they come to the conclusion they've come to, and why they have a gripe with women. But I'm just shocked that they don't see it. Just get your ass in the gym. Get yourself some more money. You don't even have to be rich. You don't have to be ripped like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but get your ass in the gym. Take care of your health. What do you look like? What do you smell like? How's your haircut? Do you have a receding hairline? If so, take it off or take it all off. Become a bald man. How do you dress? What's your swag like? There's so many different things men could do to be attractive to women. Even the guys that are swagless have women. So if you don't have a woman, let me tell you, I've seen couples from all walks of life where I'm like, yo, those two people were made for each other. They're not Hollywood stars. So if you on this planet of billions of women and still can't get a woman to at least share some space and time with you, the problem is you, sir. The problem is you. It is not vagina. It is not a woman. The regime event Cole, Latinos saying the N-word is cringe. Jen, respect brothers on your platform. One thing is, fuck off. I do what I want on my platform. 2, if you find me cringe, fuck off. 3, I have the utmost respect for the gentlemen on this panel. That's why they're always on this panel. If you want to play hypocrisy with the N-word, how about you abolish hip-hop first? Or you can fuck off if you can't do that. Don't play with me about that. Do not play with me. I don't play that game over here.
They pulling a little trump card that they be thinking they be having?
It's like the N-word. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Like, Latino saying the N-word is cringe. Then everybody saying the N-word should be cringe. You can't fucking pick and choose when something is offensive. You cannot pick and choose when something is offensive. Abolish hip-hop then. Like, that shit is corny. It's 2022, and I know that's with the explosion of social media, a couple people think that it's like, oh, I can be offended by this now because social media exists. Now it's the N-word. And don't play with me about that and who I respect and I don't respect. Don't play with me about that. Whatever. If something is cringe for you here, there are 37 million channels on YouTube. Pick one.
Roy Chester answered my question, but I get what he's saying. If I feel a certain way, then sure, maybe you mistaken me for some incel, MGTOW, or something like that. I am none of those things.
I wanna Nova Ray, I like this comment. There is a whole movement of men with different factions simply because they can't survive in the market they created. Ooh.
I think a lot of guys try to get women out of their reach, that are out of their reach. You know what I mean? And they can't deal with the failure of that. They don't want to settle.
Oh my God.
Reese, let me tell you something. Me and my partners, we were having a discussion about this, okay? And everybody all the men in the comments, okay, listen closely. Me and my partners, we were having a discussion about this. So me and my dudes, we talk real, you know what I mean? Real dudes. So one of my guys was like, yeah, you know what I mean? You know, because I was at a gala or whatever, you know what I mean? I was dressed, you know what I mean, dressed to, you know what I mean, fly, fresh, or whatever. And he said he saw Megan Good or whatever, right? And he was like, yeah, my boy, he brought her over to you know what I mean, introduce us. And he was like, yeah, you know, he did introduce her, blah, 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 everything was cool. And he was like, now in my mind, I thought that I had a shot. But that was in my mind. I had a shot. I had no shot with Megan Good.
Yo, these celebrity chicks is with the shit, dog.
You know what I mean? No. He knew he was out of his space. It was a discussion. It was the discussion we were having in terms of shooting. You know what I mean? Not shooting above your weight class, man. And that was the thing. Like, look, for instance, if Ciara if I bumped into Ciara and she gave me a compliment, man, I'm gonna take that compliment. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna sit there and fantasize with, you know what I mean, with ideas of what could have been in peace. I know for damn well. I'm not kicking Russell Wilson out of his spot. It's not any one of those situations. But you see, Jen, to your point, these dudes are not going to go and improve themselves because the onus isn't on them to improve themselves. It's constantly put in their heads that they can show up looking like whatever because they're men. You know what I mean? And women are just supposed to, you know what I mean, fall in line. The idea of actually not, you know what I mean, being basically punching above your weight class, it's not spoken about enough. And yeah, you know, look, you know, I make considerably, all right, I make a good salary. I'm not going to say considerably. You know what I mean? I make a good salary, you know what I mean? But even though I make that, there's still a plethora of women that are just outside of my speed. I just don't have access to them because I'm not playing with a certain number, man. And that's cool. I play in my pool.
But that's real and that's understandable. It's like the example that I use. I'm like, okay, yeah, I have the measurements of a Victoria's Secret model. I'm not 5'9". I'm not 5'10". I'm not 5'11".
Right.
I'm also not 19 years old. That is okay. Now, should I form a group of 100 women that hate Victoria's Secret models
Right.
and call them simps? And no, what the fuck? I got other things to do. I have other talents. You know what I mean? I have other opportunities. But these men, it's like they can't get a certain women for a certain amount of time. Then they have to go run and form these groups, and it's bizarre. Super chat break. Ill Doctrine says, I think he did a typo, but he says the internet and web message board, social media has given society's losers, rejects, and outcasts a tool to meet each other, reduce in the likelihood of improving their social competency, like Meg Taus. I agree 110%. Roy Chess, would you like to cam up? Because I am not going to be, I'm not going to, look, I'm dropping the link. You could cam up if you want. You don't have to show your face because I guarantee you don't want to. The guys that have all the
No, she didn't.
Get ready, 'cause here I come. I'm on my way.
Oh, they done messed up. I finally figured out the audio. They done messed up.
Jen, what I see honestly is I dropped the Roy Chess. If you want to cam up and have the discussion with Haran, because you saying a lot in the chat, and I'm not going to be. This is not the read Roy Chess's comments hour. So
I would love to have a conversation with him. I would love to, cam up, dude. Let's have a conversation, man. I would love to hear where you are, because maybe I'm missing certain nuances that you're trying to communicate, and I would love to really sit down and really hear your perspective.
Yeah, I just find it interesting because he keeps talking about context. Like he wants to make this word simp real. Like he wants to make it real. He wants simp to mean something. Simp is no different than calling a guy, you got friend zoned. It's the same exact concept. It is the same exact concept. A man that's doing for a woman and not getting vagina. It is the same exact concept. Simp and friend zone is the same exact concept. Okay. It is not complicated. Okay. It is the same exact, and he wants it to be real. He wants simp to mean something. He wants simp to hold some weight. And I'm going to say it for the last fucking time. Okay. Off of these YouTube spaces where there's nothing but demographics of rejected, disgruntled, bitter men. Simp means nothing. You calling Michael B. Jordan while he sits in his mansion with Lori Harvey a simp means nothing. He's wealthy. He's attractive. He has an attractive woman on his arm. What you a little guy barking on YouTube calling him a simp means nothing. That's what I'm trying to express to you. It means nothing. It is not real.
Wait a minute. Is he asking?
Tooth fairy. It's not real.
Is he asking if he can only cam up to you, or is he asking if he can cam up? Come on, dog. Don't sit here and tell me you just want to cam up to Jen alone.
I'll leave. I'll let him come up. I'll go backstage.
Come on, man. If you're gonna cam up, you're gonna get on the panel.
No, you could cam up and get on the panel and be up here. I'm not understanding what you're saying, Roy Chess. Just cam up. Just hit the link. You don't even gotta show your face. We know you're not gonna show your face. I already know.
Y'all know how the strategy works. You create drama with a woman, and then you slide in a DM later. It's 100% effective.
Why you try to get his head chopped off, Tristan? You
listen. I am with the tongue lashings, okay?
You get in an argument with a dude and then he try to climb in your DMs. How often does that happen?
Many times.
Every time.
Many times.
Jesus Christ.
What does DM mean anyway? I've been hearing that for years.
Oh my God.
What happened, Reese?
What does DM mean? I've been hearing that for 10, 15 years.
Reese. Jesus Christ.
Direct message. It's a direct message on Instagram.
Your inbox, man.
Don Levon said a real man would cam up, Roy Chess. There you go.
Is that a nickname for text message or something?
No. Well, yeah, I guess.
No, it's not. No, I'm not giving him that one. No. Reese, if you're on a social media site, the inbox is your DM, direct message. A text message is different. I'm not giving you not that old, man. I
got Instagram.
Roy Chess, Roy Chess, I have to agree with O Doctrine. He says, see, men who fear being competitive never want to cam up. He's scared. You talked all this man stuff. You talked all this man stuff. You wanted to break down simp. And you don't even want to cam up. I don't understand.
I've never seen any dude, and I've seen dudes say it in the chat. Any dude that ever that ever called me a simp in the chat has never wanted to cam up. Never. Any dude that has called me a simp has never wanted to cam up, man. And
that's a common thing on YouTube. I noticed that's very, very common on YouTube.
Man.
I came up and I'm the king of the simps.
You know me. I have no problem talking to any dude. You know what I mean? If he wants to have a discussion, I love the discussions. You know what I mean?
It's just weird if someone who has so much to say about what a real man is or isn't won't even join men on a panel.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay, he said give him a minute.
I'm gonna
give you a minute. He said give him a minute. I'm gonna give you a minute, and I'll let you come up. Okay. What's up, Shannon Rose? Nova Ray says this whole alpha beta combo is only good for content. It's just another market to exploit men who are disgruntled because the thing that they feel makes a man worthy, they fall short of. I have to agree with that. Like, I don't know, if I was beating my chest about being a man, I'm camming up. I'm like, what do you got to say? This is what I got to say. But to go 20 comments about what a simp is when it's not real, it's not real. It's just not happening. Which goes back to the fucking topic. Is body count a broke man's gripe?
The truth, you know what? I'll say this right now, Jen, and I'll say it with conviction. Most men aren't effective.
What do you mean?
Most men aren't effective, meaning that most men don't really have the ability to compete. That's why it's easy to monetize a lot of these guys with these ideas. It's easy to monetize and basically transform these ideas into some cult shit.
Roy, can I say something to Roy Chess real quick? Roy Chess, you're having trouble with your cam. You don't need your cam.
No, he didn't.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You don't need
Jen, I got a question for you.
You don't need your camera. You can still come up without your camera working. Matter of fact, you can cover your camera for all we care. Like, you can come up with your name.
Was that loud or was that loud?
That was good.
Okay.
Hey, Jen, I got a question for you, and I want you to reveal this deep, dark female secret, right? I want to know.
Girl code.
I want to know why women come on to men and then friend zone.
Why do women come on to men and then friend zone them? Because women are allowed to change their minds.
How?
Wait.
How's that legal? You can't go to a bank with a gun and be like, everybody get on the floor, and you change your mind. It's still robbery.
No, it's not robbing. Like, it's not.
No, come on, Jen. You got to give us a little bit more than that.
All of my female friends have done that to me. All my friends is females, and they have all done that to me.
So let me tell you, I'll give you my experience where I've really been into a guy, right? I'm gonna break girl code. Most women, when they even entertain you, they start at 100, right? You're at 100. And then we say to our friends or to ourselves, listen, he can get it. Now it's up to him. If he says something stupid, if he smells funny, if his breath stink, if he has no personality, if he's not intelligent, if he's not stimulating as far as conversation, if he doesn't turn me on, then that 100 starts going to 90, 80, 70, 60. So if someone's coming on to you and they really like you and then they ghost you or friend zone you, you fucked up that 100. You can't blame somebody for changing their mind.
What if you don't move on them? Like, what if I don't move on them? You think that's the reason why?
If you don't move on them? No, because a woman that wants you, she's going to make sure you make that move.
I ain't doing it. There ain't a woman on this planet going to make me move on them.
Good,
that is a lie. I have fallen for that trap every time.
Then don't make a move on it. Because when men tell me, like, I'm not sure, it's mixed signals, always go for it. Don't make a move. That's why it's safe for you. It's safe for her. It's safe for everybody.
I'm not making a move until the chick is literally attacking my zipper. I ain't doing shit.
When in doubt, do not make the move. Period.
Majority of my relationships have been accidents. it's just like, oh, this is my boyfriend. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know you like that, but all right. That's how it happens.
And
It's
Shannon agrees. Shannon agrees. He said, alternatively, they come on to you because they like how you look. Then they get to know you. Straight to friend zone. Roy Chess is here. Hey, Roy Chess, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me. So just so you know, I'm not a troll or anything like that. I can explain what I'm trying to say here.
Okay, absolutely. No, I'm glad because I'm kind of like, I was frustrating reading your comment and then, translating, and you're here. You have the conversation with Haran. What is this sim context you keep harping about?
Well, part of it is, I would just like to say that some of the problem is that the narrative that a lot of you are spinning has to do with the speaker and the words that they're using, and that to me seems to be improper, because if I say something, for example, if I say something about someone, I can make an objective statement without being emotionally involved or personally involved. So you mentioned that a simp, to you at least, is the guy who's getting rejected, but that's not what the term originally means. The term originally means,
that's not what I said.
I believe that's what you said. You said that it was the guys who's being rejected that are saying the simp word, and that it's not real.
Oh no, correct? That's what I said. The guys that are usually rejected by women are the ones focused on other men who are getting women, calling them simps. That's what I said.
Oh, right. But that's not true either. Why can't it be an objective claim?
So go ahead and
what is the clear term, sir? Sir, can you just give us the clear term that you're trying to basically say what a simp is, so we're all on even ground?
All right. So I would like to go. I would like to go with the original definition from the manosphere, at least, and that is, by definition or context, that a man who does something for a woman who he would not do ordinarily if he was not sexually attracted to that woman, right? So if I tell you that, let's say, I don't know the guy's name. Can you say his name again?
Tehran, in the middle.
Tehran? Right. So let's say I'm friends with Tehran and I was hollering at you, Jen, right? So let's hypothetically, right? If I tell him I don't like short women, but then Jen, you might be short, and then I say, well, that's different. Jen is different. That would be a simp. Like, I'm changing my standards to get with a woman sexually that I would not do otherwise, right? So if I say I don't like big women, and then you see me with a big woman and I like that one, then you say, well, dude, you're acting inconsistent. What about the thing you told me?
Are you saying that a simp is like a guy that breaks some type of code in order to get with a woman?
Yeah, okay. That's what it means. So
they do describe it in that manner, but when you hear the manosphere guys throw that word simp around, a lot falls underneath simp. It's a complex thing.
I'm not talking about the emotional. I'm not talking about the emotional kind, right? The guy who's getting rejected. That's not the right terminology. That's the wrong terminology. I'm not doing it as a hater. So some guys are doing it because they're hating on another dude, and that seems to be some of you guys are implying that. But that's not what it means.
Okay, so let me respond to what you said. Okay. You said your definition. You just said, oh, it's like Haran saying, I don't like short women, and then you see him with a short woman because he finds that particular woman attractive, even though she's short.
Right.
Okay. Now this is why what you just said is nonsensical. Okay. I don't like fat men. I don't like really, really short men. Right. But something happens, human nature. You can meet somebody and vibe with their personality. You do know that happens, right?
Right. But are you talking about sexually?
No. Wait, let me finish. Yes, it could be sexually. It could be, I like this guy who's short. I love his personality. He turns me on, right? So then, of course, his height doesn't matter anymore. You know that happens, right? It has nothing to do with, oh, I'm a simp for him now because I thought Jen said she don't like short guys. It's asinine to think people don't change their mind according to chemistry, the chemistry that they have with other people. So what you're saying doesn't really make sense.
Okay, so if that's the case, let's say you're right now. What does the word hypocrite then mean? So you would have to say it's hypocrite doesn't make sense. Right.
No.
So
I'm about to really blow your whole argument right now. And
right?
this comes
Because if
straight
I
from the
say something
manosphere guys.
inconsistent, if I say something like you shouldn't smoke, and then you see me smoking,
This comes
that by
straight,
definition
sir.
is a hypocrite.
You're talking hypocrisy and chemical reaction to another human being. It's
No, but you
Okay, let me
you
ask.
gave your word. You
Let me
gave
just
your
ask this
word on
question.
something, and then you went
Let
against
me
it.
let
That's
me
called
let
a
me
hypocrite.
let me
not,
ask
wait
him
a
something.
minute, that's not me giving my word. Like you make it sound like if I say, hey, I don't like short men. What do you mean I gave my word? That's initially what I'm not attracted to. It's not written in the obelisks next to the 10 Commandments, just automatically. I'm not completely attracted. I'm not automatically attracted to short men. But if I meet a short guy and we're vibing and we're working together and his conversation is turning me on and his personality is turning me on, shit happens. That's what happens between human beings. What do you mean I gave my word? That sounds insane.
No, it's
Okay, let me ask
inconsistent.
you.
Is what I'm saying.
Wait
Okay, go
one
ahead.
second. Wait one second. Now you see, here's the thing.
That
Here's
was
a problem with the logic that you presented, and this is straight from the bullshit that a lot of these manosphere guys, give you. And this is I guess we can say, quote unquote, hypocrisy of the ideas that these people present. A lot of times they tell you guys to shoot for the eights, the nines, and tens in a sexual manner. And then they tell you when you actually want to settle down to shoot for the six and the fives, the same way in a sexual manner. Am I correct?
Well, I don't understand.
Am I correct? It's a yes or no question, sir.
So I'm not part of that group, though. I just want you to let you know. So
What are you talking about? You're not a part of that group. You just came on here and you spat a manosphere point. You literally opened up with a manosphere point, okay?
right,
So
but
if you're going to open up with hold on, sir, if you're going to open up with a manosphere point, you're basically telling me that you're a person who follows a series of manosphere points. So I'm presenting to you the contradiction of the ideas that you're actually following.
no,
Now, again, can you answer with a simple yes or no question? Because one of the main people who spits this bullshit is I'm not even gonna say this guy's name. You know what I mean? His last name rhymes with harp. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And this guy, his current woman, you know what I mean, his wife or whatever you want to call it, she looks terrible. This woman is horrible looking. But according to him, during his so-called pimp days, he was out there slaying nines and tens. Now, you know what I mean, he was saying that one of the things he was saying is that he got with, you know what I mean, his current woman, who isn't, out his mouth, he says, is not conventionally attractive, so on and so forth. But he was sexually attracted to her, and he found her useful for what he's trying to do with his life. Now, to the point of what Jen is trying to say, is basically saying, or anybody who might you know what I mean, try someone out who's not necessarily in their regular pool, is that, hey, you might necessarily meet someone who's not necessarily in a regular pool, but they have something that, you know what I mean, really sparks your interest, that makes you say, okay, I'm gonna break this particular code or this particular thing that I usually do, and I'm going to make something that's called. You ready to hear it? You ready to hear what this is called? It's called an exception. And every man makes an exception. Any
That,
man who tells you he doesn't make an exception is full of shit. Okay,
I
every
don't
man
agree with
makes an
that.
exception. Every
I don't
man
agree with
makes
that.
an exception,
I don't make
especially a man
exceptions.
who,
I
especially a
don't make
man who
exceptions.
especially a man who may be on a. Sir, I'm not even sure if you got choices yet.
Okay,
Let's just
but
chill with
Wait,
that
because
first.
I'm gonna get
I'm not
into
even
that.
sure if you got options yet. Okay,
I
the
mean,
the the the, the jury is out if or whether or not if you got options.
but you keep
Let's chill with that first.
you keep
Now, let
bringing
me
up my
finish my
personal
point.
attributes.
Let me finish my
Okay, go ahead.
point, please.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Now, at some point in time, every man makes an exception, and the problem of the matter is that the reason
Men
why
and women.
a lot of these exactly, and the problem of the matter is that the reason why a lot of these manosphere dudes have absolutely no EQ, have absolutely no personality, is because they don't date outside. of their regular sphere of people. They don't understand certain things. They don't make exceptions. They don't get any game. They don't get any practice. You just sit here and think to yourself, you're only supposed to date this particular kind of women, and you miss out on things that can actually help you grow as a person and as a man. And that is the problem with the manosphere. They don't teach you how to grow as an individual. They teach you how to sit there in a fixed mindset and a fixed understanding. And at the end, when you get too old and you realize that you have no understanding in life, you don't know how to move. And the reason why you don't know how to move is because you've experienced nothing but the one thing that you're clinging on to. I'm done.
Okay, but you're talking about robots. You're not talking about human beings. Like, everybody's not a robot, right? So if I have an independent mind, I'm not going to follow what everything somebody says, right? I have an individual.
You follow a manosphere channel, dog. You a robot.
No, I'm not part of the manosphere.
But
I understand.
You're following the word simp, though. Everybody,
I understand.
Follow that.
I understand the concepts. As I typed in the chat that I understand concepts. So you guys keep attaching my personality to the concepts. I'm saying that
so I'm not,
you can do things differently. I can say one thing and be a different person, right? I'm just talking about a topic. Okay, I'm not invested in this. I'm not putting. I'm not.
Well, I beg to differ, because you threw like 30 comments in the chat.
I don't have anything to win here. All right, I'm not even personally experiencing this. So
okay, so let me ask you this. That's interesting, though, that you're not personally experiencing, but you have a lot of dialogue on it. Are you talking to us on your phone or on a laptop?
I'm currently on a laptop.
On a laptop, and your cam is still your camera's messed up?
Yes.
So you can't cam up. We can't see you?
No.
Okay, so how tall are you?
5'11".
5'11". How much do you weigh?
About 220.
About 220. Do you have like a six-pack? Do you work out? Do you have a gym membership?
No. So let me be more specific. No, I don't have a particular six-pack, so I'm not like an Adonis. No. But okay, I'm not obese, I'm not ugly or nothing like that.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're ugly or not. I can't see you.
I mean,
what do you do like for a living? What do you do?
Sound like Kevin Samuels.
No, I'm in the tech field. So
you're in a tech field. Do you have a girlfriend right now?
No.
You don't have a girlfriend? What happened to your last girlfriend?
Well, broke up,
Why?
Yeah. Well, she found someone else, actually. So
damn.
But that doesn't.
She simp for somebody else.
What do you mean simp? So simp is usually a man term, right? It only.
Oh no.
I'm asking you because of this, right? Let's just say that I'm just gonna paint a picture for you. Just humor me, Roy Chess. Is that your real name?
Yes.
Roy Chess.
Well, it's part of my name, not the whole name, but part
okay.
Of
So just humor me, because I want to give you an example.
Okay.
And this is not. I'm not trying to insult you. If I wanted to insult you, trust me, everybody here will tell you I would straight insult you. So I'm not trying to insult you. I just want to give you an example. Your voice, I don't like it. It's not masculine. It's not deep. There's no bass to it, right? I like men who have masculine voices. You're 5'11". You almost touch 6 feet. I prefer a man 6 feet and over, okay? I like a man that does care about being an Adonis. Let's just say, I'm just putting these things out there, right?
Right.
Now, I meet you. Your voice, I don't want to hear it over the phone, because you sound like, you know what I mean? You got that Tyson shit going, which doesn't turn me on over the phone. You're 5'11". You're 220. You're not an Adonis. But let's say you and I working in the same office, and I think you're interesting. I like the comic book characters that you have up on your wall. You know what I'm saying? I think you're funny. We start vibing. We start having lunches together, and I start wanting to date you. So does that make me a simp because I should stick to I don't like men that are under 6 feet?
No, I don't think women can be used. I don't think women can use the term simp. All right, but it means that you're inconsistent with what your beliefs were, or you want to admit that your beliefs were wrong. Right. So it's one of the two. Right. You can't have it both ways.
So the word simp and hypocrisy is real to you, but exception is not.
Right. There's no such thing as an exception.
I would be making
it's on your taxes.
an exception.
No,
I
no,
would be
that
making an exception. If I was attracted to you, I would be making an exception.
that's
So you don't believe in exceptions?
no. That's usually a term that authorities use. It doesn't. It goes from the uppers to the down. It doesn't go down up, right? So your supervisor could tell you he made an exception to a policy, but you can't say you made an exception to your work, right? Right. Give me an
Roy, can I
example.
ask you a question when you're done? I just wanted to ask you something when you're done.
Yes, yes, right. So if, like, say, if let's take away dating, right? Let's just say in general, right? You have a policy at work that you have to be on time, and then there's somebody coming in 30 minutes late every day, and the boss tells you he has an exception for that individual. Now, is it an exception or is he showing favoritism? So the word exception has problems with it because there's no.
Doesn't, but the word simp doesn't.
No, it has a specific. It has a solid context that you're doing something for this person that you wouldn't ordinarily do if I put another person of that same type in front of you.
So
right?
simp is solid, exception not really, hypocrisy, but simp is solid. That's solid for you.
Yeah, exception means that something went wrong. That means you made a mistake.
Is that what that is?
Yes, yes. So if I say I don't smoke except Tuesday, that still means I smoke, right? I just don't do it on Tuesday.
Okay, just pause real quick. Michael De Jesus, I was being hypothetical. I've dated guys that look all kind of ways. I was being, you know what I mean? I was being hypothetical. Okay, give me some slack here. I was being hypothetical. I was just trying to make a point. So let me ask you, Roy Chess, where did you hear the word simp from? Or did you make up the definition? Because people use that word and it means all kinds of shit. But where did you get your definition of simp from?
As far as I understand, that context that I'm using came from the manosphere. Now I don't know if what the history is specifically.
But you said that you don't listen to the manosphere.
No, I don't. I don't subscribe to everything they say. I understand concepts, so I could understand a concept without subscribing to the other ideas, right?
So you're making an exception.
No, I'm not making an exception.
No, you're making an exception. You don't subscribe to the manosphere, but you subscribe to the word simp that you got from the manosphere. So you're making an exception.
No. I'm taking a concept from the manosphere.
Right, but you said that you don't subscribe to the manosphere. The word simp comes from the manosphere. So you're making an exception for the word simp.
How am I making an exception? That's the way the word is defined.
Because you're arguing about it.
No, I'm not. I'm just simply defining it. I didn't argue about it.
No, you're not defining it. You're using it. So you're making an exception for the manosphere.
I'm using it as it was originally used.
Jen, can I just ask him a couple of things?
I didn't invent it. No, that's not an exception.
Jen,
I'm just reporting the news.
Him a couple questions, Jen?
I'm just reporting. I'm reporting to you what it is.
Let me ask you a couple of questions, homie. Let me ask you a couple of questions.
What it is.
Because you didn't know what it was. Okay, go ahead.
Roy, let me just ask you a couple of questions. You ready?
Yes, go ahead.
And again, like Jen said, I'm not here to insult you. I just want to ask you a couple of questions so I can better understand your situation.
This is interesting.
How long were you with the last girlfriend that you were with?
About 3 years.
Do you date a lot?
So it's hard to answer that question because, for example, me, I try to go long term, right? I try not to do the short term thing, right? So I don't know how to answer. Do you want a yes? I don't know how to answer that.
Okay, so let me phrase the question. Let me phrase the question a little bit better. Okay. Do you talk to a lot of girls? Do you try to meet a lot of girls?
Just so we're clear, am I actively going out trying to meet?
Yes. So you actively getting up from your computer into the real world and having discussions with women?
Occasionally. I'm not doing it every day. Occasionally I do.
Okay, occasionally. What is occasionally? Let's talk within the span of 365 days. What is occasionally, sir?
So if you're asking the frequency, I could tell you that I'm not out there. I'm not the player. So
I'm not asking you that, sir.
Right. So I don't know how many days. It's not even half.
Okay, let's. Okay, so let's just throw a number out there. Let's say on a regular basis, 9 or 10 months out of a year, you're not even talking to a woman, correctly? Is that correct, sir? You're not even trying to even
Yeah.
meet a girl or even have a conversation with a woman.
No,
Is
I
this
wouldn't say
correct?
9 months. I wouldn't say 9. I would say
Okay, then can you say, give me a number, please?
let's give me let's deal with approximates, right? So
Okay.
approximately 5 months. I'm out there. Once
What is out there? What are you doing?
going to social places, mingling,
Okay.
right? So
Mingling. Okay. So you're
right,
talking to women, correct?
yes, but I don't go
Okay.
specifically out for that reason, right? If it happens to happen, it happens. I don't go there specifically for that.
Okay.
I
How
live
many
my
female
life.
friends do you have? How many female friends do you have?
I have quite a few.
How many?
Uh, I would say more than 5. I don't know how to answer that.
Okay, you're a tech person like me. You're a software guy like me, correct? And we deal in absolutes. So I need for you to talk to me in absolutes. I need you to give me numbers so we can just have a nice, clear conversation
But I
about
don't
what
have
is and what needs to be.
I
So
don't
you
have an
don't have.
actual number. Like I don't count the number.
Okay, so let's just give out scenarios then. So within a span of maybe 3 months, how many girls are you actually either A, dating, B, in a conversation with, or C, just shooting the shit with?
So for the most part, just shooting the shit, basically. Nothing, no prospects right now.
Why not?
Taste, I guess.
Taste.
Nothing,
What is
nothing,
taste?
nothing has come
Taste on
across
their
me.
end, or your taste on your end, or a taste on their end?
My end.
On your end. And what's your taste, sir?
Well, that's hard to describe because
What?
it has to do with a vibe, right? So looks matter for most men, right? So I'm
Wait a
not
minute.
that picky.
Wait a minute. It has to do with the vibe. So if we're dealing with the word vibe, that's not a very absolute term, sir. That is a very malleable concept. So that sounds like an exception would be made here and there.
No,
Right,
no,
that's
no,
what I said, and you said that was hypocrisy.
no. That's not
That
an
was a dance
exception.
move.
No, that's not an exception. I didn't give you a solid. I'm looking.
Okay,
Well, she
let's
has got to
just
be this
continue with the
tall.
questions.
This
Okay,
this.
you know what,
You know.
Roy. Let's just continue with the questions, please, because I just really want to get
Okay.
to a couple of things before we
Okay.
get into anything else. Okay, so how many girlfriends have you had?
Now, a specific. I don't know a specific number. Like it's
You
not like
don't.
a million.
You
It's not
can't
like
tell
hundreds.
me a
It's not
specific number. You don't know how many girlfriends, how many relationships you've actually been in. You cannot tell me that.
like I don't really count.
Come on, man. I'm
You
52
don't.
and I can tell
You
him
don't.
that.
I can
So
give you
have
an
you had
estimate,
more than?
right?
Okay, what is the estimate, sir?
10.
You've been in relationships with 10 women.
Yes.
Okay, did and how did they all end? Did they end them with them breaking up with you, or you breaking up with them?
Uh, a lot of it was mutual. Just grow apart. I don't know. Like I don't know if they found
Okay, wait
somebody else
one
and they
second.
told
Wait
me
one
that.
second. Wait one second. No. We're getting
He's getting
somewhere.
somewhere.
Okay.
We're getting somewhere now. So what is mutual? Can we talk about that? Growing apart. What is it? You know what I mean? Because women grow apart. They do. They grow apart from you, but they grow apart for a reason.
Right. So
I
I
don't
don't
get it.
know.
So
I
what
I understand
did
where you're
they
going.
communicate? Wait 1 second. Did they communicate the reason to you?
No, they didn't
Why do you think they didn't communicate the reason to you, sir?
because I don't know. I maybe to prevent me reacting a certain way because sometimes women do that. That they don't want
Okay,
to.
wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Ah, to prevent you from reacting a certain way. So, do you have emotional issues
No,
in
not me. No,
relationships?
no.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's why I'm confused. If they feel comfortable, if a woman feels comfortable with explaining to you why she's leaving, what she's feeling, blah blah blah, so on and so forth, she'll sit down, she'll have a conversation with you, and be like, look, listen. She'll say whatever. Yeah, maybe you might get the cliche. It's not you, it's me. Blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But you'll get something. You're not telling me you're getting something. in my mind, I'm thinking the way you're making it sound, you literally went to bed Monday and you woke up Tuesday morning and your woman was gone. That is what I'm hearing right now. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to narrow in on what is your, what I mean, what is your background in terms of relationships, actual situations you've been in with women, emotional situations. Do you have maybe an EQ problem? I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. All I know is that you are very adamant on the word simp and what it is and isn't. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with you.
But why are you associating me with the concept that has nothing to do with me? That's what I'm saying. That's
I'm
where
not
the problem is.
No. I didn't call you a simp.
No.
Anyone? Did anyone?
No, I didn't say you
What
did.
concept?
The word
What
simp is
concept?
the word simp is a concept.
What associate? Associate what? Associate what? I didn't associate you with
You're
anything.
associating the speaker with the concept, and that's wrong.
No, I didn't associate you with anything, sir.
Yes, you did.
I just asked you a question.
Well,
Did
you're
anyone
asking
hear
me
me associate this man with
yes,
anything?
because you're asking me personal questions because I used the word simp.
No, I'm asking you personal questions because I'm trying to get a better understanding of who you are and how you move in relationships.
Right, but what
I
does that
didn't
have to do with?
associate. I didn't.
What does that have to
I
do with
did
the idea,
not.
though? What does that have to do with the idea? Is my
Because I
question.
want to have a better understanding of basically how you move in relationships, so I can
But
get a
I'm
better understanding
independent.
of your brand of thinking, your brand of thinking. And
Yes,
but you guess what though?
I'm a
You
logical
agreed to
thinker.
this.
I'm a logical
You
thinker.
agreed. You agreed to this level of questioning. Now the first few questions that I gave you, you seemed okay with. Now I think I hit a nerve somewhere.
No, you
I
didn't.
think I had a nerve somewhere, and
No,
you're
no,
getting
you
a
Not
little
a
didn't.
defensive
stuttering.
right now.
No, you didn't.
Now, listen. If you want me to back off, I'll back off. I'm
No,
not here to,
I'm
to
fine. I'm
embarrass
fine.
you.
I'm a
Okay.
conceptual person.
Can I
So if you can
can
deal with
I?
concepts, then we can continue.
Okay, no, okay. So let's. You know what? Let's deal with concepts. Let's deal with concepts. You are a software engineer, correct?
Not a software engineer. No.
What are you? You work in tech.
Yes,
What do
I
you do?
work in
What do
tech.
you do? What do you do?
I do a variety of things, but for the most part, I
You
do
don't really
troubleshooting.
sound like a guy who really knows what he's doing in life. I'm serious, man. Like,
Not a
no
stuttering.
disrespect.
Well,
No
again, you're
disrespect. I mean, you
judging me.
don't know
You're
what
prejudging
you
me.
don't know. No. This is what I'm saying though. This is
So
you don't know what you're
even
doing
if
in
that was
tech.
the case,
You don't know what you're doing
even if
in
that was
tech,
the case, that has nothing to do with the concept that we were defining. So even if I was a habitual
listen.
liar, what does that have to do with the concept?
Because I'm really trying to have an honest conversation about you, man.
But the
And
concept was the
I
topic,
told you,
not me.
I told you that look, if you want me to stop the question, I'll stop the question. Do
What?
you want me to stop?
It's not that I
You
want you
want me
to
to stop,
stop.
Roy?
I want you to
Roy, it's a
understand.
yes or no question, Roy. It's a yes or no question.
I want you to
Do you
understand
want
there's
me
a
to stop?
distinction between the two things, and you keep doing the psychology thing. Are you a psychology major?
What psychology? What psychology thing?
You keep
Jen, I'm just asking this
associate.
guy a series of questions.
Well,
I'm just asking you a couple
I'm
questions,
showing you the
and
pattern
I'm
that
giving
you're
you the
giving me.
power. You
I'm,
have the power to stop this, Roy. You can stop this at any given time.
Let
Do
me,
you want
can
to
I
stop
say
it?
something?
go ahead.
Let me say something.
You can, you can. I'm
Let
not
her
here to
speak.
badger you, bro. You can stop this at any given time. Do you want to stop this, Roy?
But
I don't. This is
do
a
you
Do you
want
want
to
to
psychology
stop
stop?
talking
question.
to him, Roy Chess?
I don't have a problem talking to him, but he's gotta at least
What
be honest here.
what am I doing?
You're not being really honest here. I
Well, how am I
understand
not
what you're
being
doing
honest? How am I not being? I'm asking you a
because
series of questions, man.
right, but
I'm asking you a series of questions that
the
you are
topic,
answering.
the topic were the
No.
terminologies,
You know
right?
what?
Body count, simp. Those were the
We've
concepts.
already. Listen, Roy,
That has
listen.
nothing to do with me personally.
We've already gone back and forth about your concept of what you feel about simping, what other people feel about
No,
simping ad nauseum. I wanted to ask you a series of questions about you. You agreed to it.
right. I
Now you
did.
seem like you're uncomfortable about it.
I'm not
I
uncomfortable
gave you
about it.
now I gave you. I said you seem uncomfortable, and
You're
that
trying
is
to
why I said
psychoanalyze me.
I
That's an
can stop
extension.
you. I can say you can stop me. I can say you can stop me, man.
You're
I
not
didn't
even good at
say that.
this.
I'm not badgering you. I'm not
You're
badgering you,
not good
bro.
at this, man. You're not good at this.
Okay.
I mentioned to someone in the
I don't know what
comment.
this is. I
I
don't know
mentioned
what this is.
I mentioned to someone in the chat that logical reasoning is what I do, right? I am very good at logical reasoning. What you are doing is committing a fallacy. You're trying to do an ad hom fallacy, because if I say something that is inconsistent, you say, I got him. But that has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
No,
right?
no, bro.
So Roy Chess, just to recap, the topic tonight was, is body count a broke man's gripe, right? That was the topic.
Right.
And you were in the chat constantly just, you know what I mean, regurgitating simp this, simp that, simp this. He's a simp. Michael B. Jordan simp. So let's be clear that that's something that you introduced to the topic, but the topic wasn't about simp. So I think what we're just trying to figure out is who you are and why you so hell-bent on this word simp, yet you don't claim the manosphere. And that's why I said the hypocrite here is you, because you're making the exception. And I call it manosphere light, where it's like, it's embarrassing to be part of the manosphere because you automatically get stamped as a loser, as a reject, as a man that can't get pussy. You know that. You know that's the reputation of the manosphere. That's what it is. That's the stigma attached to it. Whether the manosphere people like it or not, that is the stigma attached to it. So what happens is, and I've seen this before, what you're doing, you try to be manosphere light, where it's like, oh, I'm just taking the word simp, but I don't subscribe to it. When in reality, you subscribe to the manosphere, you're just embarrassed to claim it because you know you fall under the category, because you know you fall under the category of not being high value and not being attractive.
No, that's not the case. You're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You're attacking me personally.
You can prove me wrong and stop pretending that your camera doesn't work and cam up and let me see how high value and attractive you are.
I never said I was high value. I never said I was high value.
But even
you're making a lot of judgments like you are.
To women, attractive to women, where you wouldn't qualify for the manosphere. But the thing is, you're trying to be manosphere light, and you're not an anomaly. It's not the first time I've spoken to a man. I don't want to claim the manosphere because they're going to automatically stamp me.
But again, you're associating my personality with me understanding the concept. Why are you doing
it's not? There's no concept. SIP doesn't exist. It does not exist. It is a word that men who are usually getting rejected use towards men who always get women. You do understand that? It's not real.
No. It is real. That's a logical fallacy. That's what I'm saying.
Real.
That's a logical fallacy because you're saying
it is.
It is.
Like oxymoron. What do you mean?
No. It is a logical fallacy.
It's very simple. You're trying to be manosphere light. Just say you're manosphere and you fit
I'm not
under the
manosphere.
category of men that aren't attractive to women. It is okay. Like, it's really okay. Like,
no, it's not. I don't claim that.
It's okay, is what I'm saying. Like, everybody is not going to be, you know what I mean, la creme de la creme. Everybody's not going to be a perfect 10. It is okay. But to come on here and be disingenuous and act like I don't have nothing to do with the manosphere. I just like the simp word. I just like the simp word. That's it. You're being a hypocrite. You're making the exception that you said other people were making.
I didn't make any exceptions.
Hey, Jen, guess what? Listen, if he was a confident man, if you were a confident man, you would have been able to breeze through those questions, number one. And the reason why they grilling you is because of the comments you made. Like, you were judging a lot of these dudes that are like winners in the looks department. So they wanted to see what, you know, how do you stand up against them, the people that you're criticizing? I think that's what's going on here.
Again, that's called attacking the character of a person. What does that have to do with the idea?
But you lit that fire. You lit that fire when you were attacking the character. Those guys.
That's not attacking the character. That's not attacking the character. That's by definition.
But I'm not attacking your character. I'm telling you exactly what you're doing. You're being a hypocrite. You took the word simp out of the manosphere. I just asked you, where'd you get the word simp from? From the manosphere. But I don't subscribe to the manosphere.
That's where the word originated. That's a factual statement.
That's like me saying I don't subscribe to the Bible, but I believe in honor your mother and your father. Where'd you get that from, Jen? From the Bible.
So what's wrong with it? It's a principle that can stand on its own.
Subscribing to a
without the Bible.
In the Bible,
you're attacking the source.
In the manosphere,
you are attacking the source. That's a fallacy. What is that? Why
can't? That is not a fallacy.
Yes,
that
is.
No,
it is a fallacy. No,
it's not a fallacy. It's not a fallacy because
let me explain it to you. Let me explain to
Oh.
you.
It's not a fallacy because you
It
say
is. Look, you can
it's not a
Google it.
fallacy. It's a fact.
No, it's a
It is
fallacy.
a
Google
fact.
it. Why can't it be a principle without the Bible? What does the Bible have to do with it?
Because then you sound insane.
No. So
Because
you
then
can't
you
have
sound
principles.
insane.
So you can't have principles without it being practical.
But
correct?
they're not your principles. They're manosphere principles.
It doesn't matter where the
different.
principles come from. It doesn't matter where the principles
Yes,
come
it
from.
matters. Yes, it matters.
Yes, it does. It really does matter
It
where the
really does
principles come
matter.
from.
Like,
Because
no,
the
it really
principles,
does
because the
matter.
principles can be destructive.
Okay, so
The
let me ask you
principles and
this.
the ideas can be destructive.
The idea of rape, right? The idea of a woman getting raped. Can a man
Do
speak
not
about
say
that?
that. Do not say that on a YouTube channel. You can actually get someone flagged. Do you see? This is the issue with you.
Just
You
say
know how to
sexual,
move. You know how to
sexual
move,
assault.
man.
Okay, hold on. I didn't realize it, so my fault. All right. So sexual assault. Can a man speak? Okay, let me make it easier. Can a man speak on pregnancy if he's a man? Can he not make an objective claim about a woman's pregnancy without him being personally attached? Because so far what you've been doing is attaching everybody who says something with their personal experiences and their opinions. So, for example, if I make a comment about the sun, does that mean I have personal experience or personal?
Okay, now you sound insane.
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll answer that question.
You've been associating
No, I'll answer that question.
with
I'll answer that
everything
question,
somebody
sir.
says
Roy,
with their personal
I'll
opinion
answer
and
your
their
question.
experiences.
Roy, I will answer your question, Roy. In
Please do.
the context of what you just said, in the context of what you said, in terms of sexual assault, no, I do not have a right to tell that woman what to do with that child.
No, I didn't say that. Can you speak?
What do you? Then what do you mean? Then what?
No,
Can I speak on what?
Yes. Can you speak on something about, let's say, a woman's issue being a man? Because what I'm hearing is that you can't say one thing and then have no attachment to it. Because you're saying that because I used a manosphere word, I have to be attached.
Wait 1 second, Roy. Roy, 1 second, Roy. In the terms of let me be clear on this, so I understand what you're saying. In terms of using sexual assault, you're saying that I have no say so on the matter if she's been sexually assaulted.
No, let's change this. Let's change it to something simpler.
What
I don't want you.
trying to do is it's a word salad. What he's trying to do is
what is he trying to
extreme, and one has nothing to do with the other. We are talking about a principle, a belief. He believes the definition of the word simp is the one that the manosphere gave him.
You know who has principles?
No.
You know have principles
He
and ideas. Hitler.
that. So
words,
now
words are defined by
principles.
context.
What he's trying
It
to do.
doesn't have to be just that
I'm not
one
a woman.
word.
Can I speak on women? That's completely different. It's apples and oranges. It is
No.
apples and oranges. Yes, I can
Huh.
speak on a man without being a man. A man can
Right,
speak
so-
on a woman without.
So why
being,
can't I do?
that has
So why?
nothing to do with. That has nothing.
So why
to
can't
do
I do
with-
it then?
That has nothing to do with you subscribing to a principle
I don't
in the
subscribe.
manosphere, meaning you subscribe to the manosphere. You
No,
just
I
don't
don't.
want to connect yourself to it because you don't want to look like a loser, because
No.
that is the demographic of the manosphere, is a bunch of losers. And I understand why you don't want to be attached to that, but you are attached.
No, I'm not.
Like, stand on your square. Stand on your square is all I'm saying.
I would if it were true.
Roy,
I would.
Roy, let me just
It is not
let me just
true.
ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Roy, can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead.
And I do want to know these things. Now, you don't have to answer these questions. I do want to continue some of the personal questions that I have for you. Are you willing to answer them?
He's gonna take you in a circle. He's stuck on that word simp. I don't know.
No,
I'm not stuck on a word. I said it was an idea.
Listen,
There are other ideas we could talk about.
Roy.
I'm not stuck on that.
Down,
You're
Roy,
miscategorizing me.
Roy, calm down, please. Roy, calm down. Roy, calm down, please. Did you hear what I said?
Can you
Did
repeat
you hear what I
it?
said?
Can you repeat it?
Okay. What I said was I would like to continue with the series of questions that I have for you. They would be personal. Are you okay with that?
Why do they have to be personal? That's my
Because I just want to have a better understanding of you as a person and where you're coming from with these ideas. That is it. If you want to ask me a series of personal questions, you can do that. You want to ask me a personal question, Roy?
I got him pegged already. I already said what his problem is. He just he's not the first cat I spoke to that is like, I'm not with the man.
Wait 1 second, Jen. Wait 1 second, Jen. Wait 1 second. Will you agree to that, Roy? It's not a bunch of questions. I just gotta ask like a few more. That's it.
If it's not too personal, I mean, if you can keep it
It's
generalized.
it's the same series of questions that I was asking before, bro. It's not a bunch of questions. I just wanted to ask a few more things.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have a problem with the questions, but the issue is the reasoning. That's what I want to bring out.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you.
So I think you guys are miscategorizing me.
Okay, this is the thing, Roy.
I think you're in denial.
I'm not in denial. I'm honest. I came up here because I'm honest. I would tell you.
You're getting very worked up.
You're not being honest. You wouldn't even show us your face. Like you're not being honest.
I'm being honest. I am.
Because in the chat, you were very combative in the chat.
Not working. You lied about
very combative in the chat.
No.
Yes, you did.
I mean, I don't know how I can prove that to you.
Do you have a cell phone?
I have a cell phone.
Is your camera off on your cell phone too? So cam up with your cell phone. Crickets. Super chat break. Ill Doctrine, thank you for the super chat. Ill Doctrine says, just FYI, an ad hominem fallacy is comedian when a person is attacked or insulted instead of their argument. If you insult someone and attack their argument, like what is happening here, that's not an ad.
It is an ad hominem because you're using my personal experience and my personal opinions as inconsistent with the concept that we're talking about. For example,
comedian. Wait a minute. Just FYI, an ad hominem fallacy is committed. Is committed?
It's committed.
When committed when a person is attacked or insulted instead of their argument. If you insult someone and attack their argument, like what is happening here, that is not an ad hominem.
It is an ad hominem fallacy. For example, if I were talking about weight loss, right? If I were talking about fitness and I'm obese, that would be an ad hominem fallacy.
So here's the thing. Since nobody wants me to ask any more questions, I'm going to attack your fucking point right now because I really gave you an opportunity to actually sit there and stop sitting with your fucking bullshit. Now let's just end here right now. This is the reason why what you're saying is complete bullshit. You don't even know what's going on in your own life. You can't even answer simple, solid questions of what's going on in your own life.
Again,
so if you can't even do that,
that's a personal attack, sir.
Wait till I'm done. Wait till I'm done, sir. Wait till I'm done. If you can't even do that to stand on your square of what's going on in your own life, you can't even tell me what kind of job that you have. How can I even be clear that you even understand the concept of a simp?
Again, that
was actually presented to you because I think you have a comprehension issue.
Do you not understand?
You have a comprehension issue.
I have a comprehension issue.
You have a comprehension issue.
I can't tell you not to smoke
in my life. I've never heard in my life.
I can't tell you don't cheat on your wife. I'm cheating on my wife. Right? I can't do none of that.
Wait for me to complete my thought, please. Wait for me to complete my thought because I have not cut into you yet. Okay. Now listen. I've never heard in my life if a man actually makes an exception on a particular thing, on a particular rule or whatever, on the type of woman that he dates, that guy's a simp. That sounds like the most asinine thing fucking ever. And if you actually subscribe to that, you're an idiot. You're a complete fucking idiot, man. Seriously.
Who said
because every human, well, you're standing on your square really hard on it. Now the personal thing is like, the overall, can you chill for a minute and let me finish my point? Because I really do not want to sit here and actually talk about this all night. Okay? Can you agree to do that? Can you do that?
Yeah, go ahead. But at least don't say something that's false.
Thank you. Now, at the end of the day, listen, man. For what you just said and your opinions, because you were in the chat being very combative. You're not as combative right now. You're not slinging as many arrows right now, but you're actually behaving in a manner in which you're being, you know what I mean, you're copping pleas, you're sounding defensive, you're doing a whole bunch of things.
You haven't talked about the context.
I've actually talked to you about the context.
No, you haven't.
In the beginning.
No, you didn't.
I talked to you about that in the beginning. Yes, I did. No, I didn't.
Yes,
sir.
You did. You asked about me.
Jen.
We didn't even touch body count. We didn't even touch that concept.
In the beginning, Jen, let me ask you a question, Jen.
I'm listening.
Jen, in the beginning, did I actually attack this man's point in the beginning?
No.
right after he spoke.
So bring it up again.
And
I
I
don't remember
presented
it.
when I was
You've been talking about me for the longest.
When I actually sat there and I was talking about Shark.
No.
That's not about the concept.
I was actually talking about the topic. I was asking about the topic. Okay, man. You
Okay,
can't
really quickly, because I get what Roy Chess, I get what he's doing. Super chat break. Thank you, Michael Richardson, for the smoothie. He says, here is some money for a smoothie after this stream. Roy said he is a techie. I think he's lying about that too. Ask him what a CCNA is.
I know what a CCNA is. It's a Cisco certified degree. It's a Cisco certification.
Boom.
I know what it is. I'm well aware of what it is.
Okay. Shannon, I gotta disagree with you. I think anyone who subscribes to the manosphere has issues with women.
So basically what I'm saying, just so I don't want to be personal. I wasn't personal with anybody here, right? So just because I understand the definition of a concept, I can understand the definition of a star in astronomy. That doesn't mean I study astronomy. Like, do you understand that? Just because I understand a concept doesn't mean I subscribe.
You don't. It's not. I can understand how glass is made. You don't. It's not that you understand it. It's that you subscribe to it and you preach it.
No, I don't. I don't preach it. I understand it.
Look at the comments that you left in the chat. You preach the word simp. You're holding on the nuts of the word simp.
Your definition was incorrect. That's why I typed that.
It was absolutely correct. But I know. Listen, this isn't my first rodeo. I know exactly who and what you are, sir. Unfortunately, I really, really do. Your manosphere light. You don't want to be attached to it because it's gonna automatically stamp you as unattractive and unwanted by women. You're not the first.
Not the case. Class. Why do you keep putting me in that category?
Because that's the category you're in. That's why you don't come up, because you don't want us to see that you are not attractive.
So again,
that's why you don't come up.
Again, you're attacking the character.
I'm not attacking your character. I'm attacking your looks. You feel inadequate. That's why you did. I'm not attacking your character. I don't know your character. I think you're full of shit.
You came up and shut us all up.
Full of shit.
I'm gonna call it a night, Jen. I'm gonna call it a night.
You're basically saying that if someone is acting inconsistent with their words, then it's a problem.
Okay, so Haram, before you go, because I'm gonna go to Roy Chess. What's your last point? So you can go. Why'd you come up here? Like, what's your last point on this topic?
The point was to define the concepts correctly, and you were defining it with
no. Listen. Whoa, time out. Tonight's topic was, is body count a broke man's gripe? What is your last point on the topic, so you can go?
The last point on the topic was that term body count also has a specific definition. We didn't even get into that. So I don't
because you were crying about simp in the chat.
No,
you didn't get into it. We got into it. We spoke about body count for 2 hours.
But he never brought it up, and you never brought it up. He kept on asking me about the simp thing. I didn't bring that up.
We brought it up together here on the panel. You were crying about simp in the chat. We brought up body count. We dissected it. You did it.
Right, but you didn't give me a chance to talk about any other concept but simp. Right, but you.
Then just give him a chance now.
When I came up
here, give
him
a chance to do that now. Then just answer the question now, bro.
Let me mute him first. I muted you. What do you have to say about body count before you go?
So the definition of body count is a specific definition. 1, it only applies to women. 2.
Okay. Your opinion, I had to mute you again. Your opinion of body count, not the definition. Not the definition, because I could say there's a body count of 10 people dead over there. Okay? So body count is not the definition. It's not what you heard in the manosphere. Body count actually has a real definition, and it's not, what goes on in the manosphere. So we're going to try again. Okay? So go ahead. Your opinion. Your opinion. Don't tell me the definition of, because the definition of body count is not what the manosphere said. It's a concept. It's a principle in the manosphere. So you tell me what your opinion is. Not the definition, your opinion. Go ahead.
Say. I can only go by the context of what men say, right? So the context in which most men say are
the opinion men have.
Right, the opinion men have that. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to be offensive, So I don't want women to take offense, and I don't attach me to it. I'm just giving you what's men talk about. That a woman's body count.
Tell me what you think. Forget what I know you listen to a lot of men say a lot of things. What does Roy Chess think body count means? Let's see if we can deal with just what's in your mind. What does Roy Chess think body count means?
So my understanding of the term is a woman who frequently has multiple sex partners in the same time frame.
Okay.
Right. So for example, if you're talking to Charlie one day and 30 days later you're talking to Tom, and then 30 days later you're talking to Harry and whatever, and you're having sexual contact with new partners in a same time frame, that adds to body count and adds to other terms that go associated with the body count.
We're just saying on body count one thing at a time. Right. Okay, now okay. Is body count a broke man's gripe? Why is it only broke men, right? Not the rich and wealthy men like Ben Affleck and Michael B. Jordan, et cetera, et cetera. Why is it that only broke men, like the men that frequent the manosphere and their principles and their talking points, why is it that only broke men have a gripe of body count? What does Roy Chess think about that? Not what he heard. Right. What do you think about that? Why do broke men care about body count? And why do wealthy men do not? Go.
Well, okay, so I would say that that's incorrect. All men care about body count. They're just lying. So the rich men don't literally say that they care about body count because they're not wifing those women anyway.
No, they're wifing them. Kim Kardashian got wifed. Amber Rose was on Kanye's arm for a couple years. They get wifed. Ice-T married Coco. These women get wifed. The Instagram models, they get wifed. The women,
on a small scale.
They become mothers
on a small scale.
No, not on a small scale.
Yes.
Not on a small scale. So what do you say? So obviously those men don't care about body count because they are wifing these women.
That's why
Donald Trump's wife was a call girl. What are you talking about?
Trump's wife was also a prostitute. So that goes out the window. Your concept goes out the window. So now
that's where the term simp comes from, which we talked about. Right, or partially.
Okay, we're not going back into simp.
I understand that, but
we're just staying on why do broke men care so much about body count when wealthy men don't, or men that are at least financially stable and attractive.
All right, so broke men, as you call it, are talking about it because they're trying to inform women that this is what the guys are doing. They're not going to ask you your body count because they're not trying to wife you. They're just trying to smash. Right, so the guys who say I'll never ask the body count is the guys who's looking to smash 99% of the time. That's why they don't mention it. Now I don't hear the guys saying anything. Is that true, guys?
The fuck?
The true guys about what?
So basically, the players are never going to ask you. Do you understand the difference?
What do you mean the players are never going to ask you? I just said that wealthy men don't care either, and they wife these women. I just said that.
Okay, but you're talking about a small percentage.
No, it's not a small percentage. It really is not a small percentage.
So you think that the average escort girl or the prostitute or the porn star is getting married? What percentage?
No, the average wealthy man. Let's stay on topic.
Okay.
The average wealthy man doesn't give a damn about a body count. We've seen it over and over and over and over again. They do not care.
You're talking about what percentage of those men?
Forget the percentage. We've seen it happen.
So let me ask you a better question, right? The women with the higher.
Anything. You're answering these questions so you can finish your points.
Okay, so
you're not going to talk me in circles, sir.
Okay, I'm not trying to. My point of broke men saying that, as you call them, is that the higher the number, the less chance of the woman getting married in general. All right. So yes, there are a few women that get married, but most men, if they know, notice if they know, if you say you have a body count of 100 or 500 and the guy says, I'm going to wife you, that's different. That's where we go to the other terminology. Most men avoid women like that. That's why broke men are saying that, because they're making an objective statement. They're making an objective statement. So it has nothing to do with them being broke or not.
Broke men, because they don't have enough, right?
No, it's not about them being rejected. No, they're making an objective claim. They're saying if you come out with a 5,000 number, what's that?
Most broke men care
hear
about things like that because they don't have anything else.
No. They
So
don't.
they
They
hang
don't
their
care.
manhood. They hang their manhood on a woman having a low body count.
Jen, this guy's gonna stand on the square. He's and hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
But I think we got his point. All right.
I just want to say one thing. Shout out to Shannon Rawls, who basically had a comment in terms of two brothers going back and forth and it not being a good look. And right after he said that, he got into an argument with Il Doctrine. So it's kind of like, dude. Oh no, Shannon Rawls. He's you know, I mean, I guess maybe he doesn't. He took offense to me asking questions. But here's the thing, you know, what I mean, I already presented my argument in the beginning of the conversation with this gentleman, and I was just asking questions, you know what I mean, afterwards. Maybe you guys missed it. I don't know. You know what I mean? But don't come in here and proclaim, you know what I mean, create this perception that I actually, you know what I mean, just shot off the gun, you know, asking to do questions without actually sticking to the topic at hand. And another thing too, you know what I mean, men actually do have arguments. Yeah, they do. You know, a lot of guys got shot over them. Remember, you know that? You know what I mean? So a lot of dudes in the hood, you know what I mean, got popped because of an argument. You know what I mean? So let's stop sitting here and try to do that other manosphere shit. We're like, well, men don't argue. Men just say what they do. No, men argue. Men argue. Stop it. Because homie, you just got into an argument with El Doctrine. So, you know what I mean, it is what it is. Let's stop performing. Let's stop with the performances. Let's just have honest conversations with each other. You know what I mean? People are just trying to have, you know what I mean, discourse. I don't hate anybody. I was just really trying to ask him where he was. And that's it.
No one's gonna destroy me, TC and R. But since you're this must be another manosphere reject. So you're getting blocked. Goodbye. You manosphere rejects you will not survive here. I told you, check your emotions and feelings at the gate because they will not survive here. To respond to Era Black TV, he says, so then talk strictly to wealthy men. Why incorporate less than wealthy men into a conversation? First and foremost, I don't think the men up here qualify for the less than wealthy, because these men up here get ass and they don't give a fuck about a woman's body count. So it's not a tax bracket, right? It's a mentality. I can't speak for Roy Chess. He's hanging on simp, and he's doing the manosphere points. He is a manosphere person. He does subscribe. He just doesn't want to admit it. And I already explained. I know why. I know why, and I know it's not true. But I want to. Good night, Roy. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. And I get it. I really do get it. Like, it's not. I'm with you, Haran. I don't hate anybody. This is just conversation. You know me. I hope nobody leaves here hating anybody. That's not what.
Absolutely not.
That's not what this is for. Like, we're just talking. We're just throwing around conversation. But that was a hell of a talking in circles type of thing. That's what it was. But I get it. The manosphere, the manosphere used to be what they thought was going to be a very masculine thing. Then it morphed into pseudo masculinity, and now it even went further. And it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of losers hanging out, talking about gripes about women and complaining about women and what women are not doing. And the thing is that, in my fucking opinion, men who can get ass, no problem, no matter the tax bracket, because remember, Pookie and Ray Ray can get ass too all over the neighborhood. Men that are used to getting ass and don't have problems getting women, do not join the manosphere. I don't care what tax bracket you're in. I don't care what your height is. I don't care what you look like. You do not join the fucking manosphere unless you have issues with women. The manosphere of today. I'm not talking about the manosphere that was just some cool guys kicking it. I'm talking about what the manosphere morphed into. The manosphere of today, the manosphere that the FBI and the CIA is investigating, that manosphere, the new manosphere. No man in his right mind is going to join that demographic. He's not going to do it because he can't relate to the problems that those men have. He's not going to do it. He's going to be like, why would I go over there if I can get women and I don't have a problem with women? It's the same thing I say about the female channels who bash men all fucking day. I could say, oh, that's a good talking point. That's a good, but then now I got to unfollow you, mama, because every single day you got an issue with men and you're explaining the issues that you have with men. Like, I unfollow women like that as well. The women fall under the same category. I'm like, you and I can't relate because I don't have problems with men like that. So I don't want to see your streams. But it's the same thing on both ends. Men do it and women do it.
I think that I think it's what's it? Oh, it's Reese. Okay,
wasn't even a thing until recently. I don't get the body count thing. It's hey. What were you saying, Haran?
I think that now here's the thing. You know, I guess this would be considered in defense of the manosphere, maybe to some degree. But I think initially, you know, or at its core, this was the intention was that it was supposed to be some sort of space for men to actually, you know what I mean, really spill their grievances, you know what I mean, really, you know what I mean, really get to the root of some of their emotions and issues. Because in society, in natural society, men aren't necessarily told to actually really express themselves or really just really put themselves out there. We have to kind of hold things in. We do have to really have to, like, you know what I mean, put a stiff upper lip at times. I mean, it comes with the gig. It's manhood. It is what it is. But I think somewhere down the line, the intention became something that was just overpowered by the need to gripe, more so saying the opportunity to grow and the opportunity to become better men became overshadowed by the opportunity to whine and complain as to why I have not been selected. And you know, you kind of here's the thing. Here's the thing about trauma and pain. When you live in it for too long, you begin to believe that becomes a part of it is a part of your identity. You begin to believe that you are a victim. You begin to believe that you are always supposed to be in pain. And after a while, you don't remember a time when you weren't in pain. So any other moment where you might experience not or have an opportunity to not be in pain or to grow as a person, you either reject it or you don't even or you don't really recognize the opportunity to do it. Like, look, there's a lot of guys out there who were rejected. There's a lot of guys out there who were left by their women, whatever it is, what it is. And look, man, look, I've been there. I've been rejected. You know what I mean? I've been, you know, I've been ghosted. I've been all that shit. You know what I mean? Many men have. You know, a lot of dudes don't want to admit it, but many of us have. But what you do is that you take whatever you need to take from it and you move forward, man. You don't harp on your losses. You know what I mean? You take your losses, you learn from your losses, and improve yourself. You say to yourself, like, hey, you know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't do this particular thing because maybe it did bring me down that road that caused this issue and this problem. And I don't think that's often discussed in the manosphere. Solutions aren't discussed in the manosphere. And I don't think solutions are discussed in these women's spaces often enough too.
I
You know
haven't
what I mean?
seen.
Because when
I
we
had to
because
unfollow. I had to
because
unfollow.
when you actually discuss solutions, you see, the one thing you can't bullshit, and I'll bring back to what Reese said, the one thing you can't bullshit is the fitness world. So you can't bullshit, you know what I mean, losing weight. You can't bullshit getting in shape. You know what I mean? It's either you gonna do what you need to do to get in shape and you get in shape, or you know what I mean, you're not gonna do what you need to do and you remain to look, you know what I mean, looking like what you looked like, you know what I mean, day one. You know what I mean? You have to put the work in, man. You have to put the work in. And I don't know that guy. I really don't know him. You know what I mean? I've met a couple of guys like him and they don't want to put the work in, man.
That's
They got
really
some
all it
things
is.
going on. You
At the
know,
end of
they
the
got
day,
some things going on, and they need to they need to fix that. And it's not necessarily something that can be fixed with a haircut or going to the gym. Maybe it's something that they really need to sit down and really they need to have a quiet conversation with themselves and accept some things about themselves, and then they can move on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? As better people. Because some of the things, some of the ideas that I had when I was a younger guy, I look at some of those ideas now, and I'm like, shit, I actually thought like that. Shit, yeah, I thought like that. I
we
was
all
broke. I was in the fucking hood. Yeah, I was broke. I was in the hood. I was living with my mama on the couch. Shit, I was fucked up. You go, of course, I thought like that. You know what I mean? Now I'm in a different space now. You know what I mean? I can do things. I can actually buy expensive shit. So my ideas about things are going to be different. That's all I have to really say about the whole thing.
Super chat, last super chat of the night. Ill Doctrine says this guy's defense is exactly evidence men who care about body count or hyper focused and anxious about how other men move, causing them to experience seemingly insurmountable uncompetitiveness, impoverished masculinity. Thank you, because I wanted you to elaborate on impoverished masculinity, but that's exactly what I think it is. I think the manosphere in general, like I understand men not wanting to be associated with it anymore, but that's why I call it manosphere light. Like they believe all the principles, they watch it all day long, but then when they get on a panel, they don't want to be crucified for it. So they're like, oh, I'm not part of the manosphere. I just, but that simp word, yeah. And what they think about
they don't want
simp,
them
yeah.
feds knocking on their door. That's what they don't want.
Nobody wants to clip. Well, Shannon Rawls, he's claiming the manosphere and claims he discusses solutions, blah, blah. So I'm like, I don't even know why a man needs to partake or be a part of a claim the manosphere. I don't get it. I don't get what the benefit is. Usually men claim things because there's a benefit to it. There's some sort of, it's not like a frat or like, I don't get it. Like, does the manosphere, do you guys get uniforms? Do you guys get perks? Like, what are the perks to being in a manosphere but a bunch of bitch made dudes complaining about women? What are the perks of the manosphere? I don't even get it, other than learning new words and new lingo. Like simp means this now, body count means that now, red pill means that now, motel. It's like it's a very
I
silly
will
clubhouse.
I will co-sign Shannon Rawls though. He actually does bring solutions to the table. I'm familiar with his channel.
Great.
He
So
does
why
do that.
claim
He's
the
one of
manosphere?
the you know what I
Well,
mean?
Jen, there are a few
that's on
dudes
him.
in the manosphere that are tolerable and that are talking about family values and building up the community. There are a couple of those guys that are all right, but I understand what you're saying though. For the most part, like it has turned into a clown show with a lot of these new dudes that have tacked on later. You know what I mean? And you can tell by their delivery that they're not real sincere about building anything or helping anybody. It's just a coin for them. You know what I mean?
Shannon, I disagree. He says that's because the manosphere is not a thing, not an org, not a group. Yes, it is. Because when you can categorize a group of people, you fall in that. It's like I said a million times before. It's like when someone tells me not all cops are bad. Are you wearing the uniform?
No.
Right.
Didn't they have a meeting? Didn't they have a meeting, Jen?
Yes, they did. Are you using the dialogue that cops use? Cops talk a certain way. They have a certain lingo, a certain language. They are a group of people. Manosphere, are you wearing the uniform? Are you looking like it, talking like it, and walking like it? Then you are part of that group. Let's stop trying to be manosphere light, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like stand on your square. If I was a part of something, I'm going to stand on it and say, this is what I am, like it or not. But you can't say, I'm manosphere, but I talk solutions. I'm manosphere, but I only like the word simp. I'm manosphere, but I only believe in body count. I'm manosphere, but I only believe in going 50-50 with a woman and build. Like, if you're manosphere, then be manosphere. And understand that you are going to be part of that group. Well, we're not all bad apples. All cops aren't bad. You're in the uniform, sir. That means that you are under the umbrella of the bullshit, of the system. Right? So I'm like, I don't get why, I don't get the manosphere light. Either you are or you aren't. But I'm a very black and white person. So I'm like, is it or isn't it? I don't understand the middle. Yeah, kind of, sort of, but only the word simp. Like
you know what's sad? It's sad that there's that many men in society that there are hundreds of people on YouTube that can have thousands of people reach out to them for help on how to meet women or keep women under control or whatever. You know, that bothers me a little bit. Like, I didn't know it was that bad out here, really.
Well, why do you think that is? Are they missing their daddies? Are they what is going on? Why is that? Why is there a space that so many men, millions of men, have run to because they don't know how to relate to women? What's going on?
Jen,
what they're saying is that they're running into a lot of problems out here, and women are doing a lot of underhanded shit. And that's how it started off as, you know, people, you know, men having a voice for the first time ever. And then it turned into, you know, the B word and everything else. So it started off as something halfway decent, you know, a voice for men that we never had before. And that was okay. But what it's turned into is not cool, man. And I don't get it. Like, you got a lot of these dudes out here trying to teach dudes how to be pimp and collect as many women as they can. And I don't understand how the whole society got into this big race to get the most women. What is the end goal of that? You don't get a trophy. You don't get shit.
No, but the thing
is, you can't take bragging rights to the bank and cash them in.
Hey, at least they get an STD.
According to men, there's millions more women on the planet than there are men. But for some reason, these men need help getting women. But you ask anybody, there's millions more women than there are men, right? But for some reason, men can't seem to find them. Shannon, you could cam up, but don't come up here with your circles neither, because I know you good with them talking circles too, sir. You can cam up for the end of it, but I know he's another one who likes some talking circles. I'm familiar with you, Mr. Rawls.
When did you start hearing body count for the first time? Like around which decade?
Maybe 3 years ago, I heard body count.
No, I've heard it longer than that.
I heard that years.
Body count was in a song about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, when they said body count, it meant killing people. That's when I was introduced to it.
Right. What happened?
That's why it's funny but that's a great point, Tristan. Body in terms of how many people are dead somewhere. But for that, body count is the definition of body count is not what the manosphere said it is, sir. No, that's not what it is. But they believe this. They truly. Hello, Mr. Shannon Rawls. How are you this evening? What say you?
You know he was going to bed when he don't even got the background up.
I got the light kit turned off. Listen, the manosphere, manosphere here, manosphere representative here. So
okay,
I'll bring all the smoke this way. I'll be
FBI,
able to answer your question.
We ain't doing that.
All right, check.
No. Before you start, brother, I clearly said that you are one of the few who actually brings solutions to the table. I actually did say that. Like, you know what I mean? So don't think that I just threw you under the bus or something like that. No, there's a few people. There's AV. AV actually, you know what I mean? AV brings solutions to the tables, and you know what I mean, so on and so forth. See, look, brother, I'm not about griping. You can have your little pity party moment, but the pity party only supposed to last 15 seconds. What we do, man. That's what I'm about.
The argument part that I had meant y'all was bullying that poor man. Is he still here, Jen?
I wasn't bullying nobody, man. I was
bullying that man. I felt like we was back in the hood. Man. I felt like we was in the hood, and one of the homies that don't get out much came to the cul-de-sac.
Shut up! You've watched men treat women way worse than that. You've watched men treat women way worse than that. And
I was like, oh, not the homie. I said he Debo. Nah. Y'all was up here, Debo. Y'all snatched his chain, took his bike.
Yeah. I'm not about to let you get up here and run that.
Shannon, I was just asking questions, brother. I was just asking
snatched his chain. You was like, what bike? I know what you did. No, listen, the management part. This is what I listen. When I said it's not an organization, there's no headquarters, right? There's no central location. So I'm glad you brought up law enforcement, police, right? So manosphere is an umbrella term, Jen. It's kind of like law enforcement. But what is law enforcement? That includes the FBI, that includes the CIA, that includes LAPD, Sheriff Department, and all these different law enforcement people operate differently. And so, like just a minute ago, you mentioned the pickup artists. They're under the manosphere, I guess, but that's the pickup artist dude that be trying to teach dude games and how to finesse and lie to women, right? Then you got the red pill guys, then you got the black pill guys, and then you have MGTOW and all of that. So, like my man said with the Phillies cap, I'm not sure, but he nailed it. You know, it was really just a result of men coming together back in the day and kind of guarding themselves about stuff, and they really didn't have a voice, and that's how it was originally formed. And like you said, Jen, I like how it was originally, but what it became is a bunch of dudes out there yelling at women, hating women, they can't get women, they're losers, so on and so forth. But that's just a faction of them. It's not everybody in there like that. So when we say the manosphere, it's almost like saying law enforcement. And it's like, nah, we got to talk about LAPD. LAPD is a little different than, you know what I'm saying, than it may be well, I don't know, maybe NYPD and LAPD is kind of the same. But then maybe the sheriff department.
That's like you being dead set on not liking women. See how we can relate?
Y'all gotta get rid of the Derek Chauvins too.
It's no different.
What happened?
It's no different.
Y'all gotta get rid of the Derek Chauvins in the manosphere.
Yeah, but you know, that's the thing about it, you know, and so like Jen was saying, there's women over on, like, you know, that's pink pill, right? And so then you got I was gonna bring up what my man Roy Chess was trying to explain earlier when he was saying that he was using that term, but he's not part of the manosphere. I was gonna bring up the word dusty. Anyways, but like you got women over there that's just real radical, and then you got women over there that's practical. In politics, we got really crazy ass Republicans and some crazy ass Democrats. Then we got some people that's kind of practical, but still, you know, claim to be conservative or liberal. And so in the manosphere, you got some of these guys, and it's really, to be honest with you, what it feels like to me, and it may not feel like this to y'all, it's the loud minority. You got that loud minority, that dude who what we call has red pill rage, just got screwed over, can't get girls, been trying, gets this, got finessed and went out on 100 dates and lost all his money, can't get no pussy, all these dudes. And then they come to YouTube and it's women ain't shit, and women this and women that, and I can't stand women, and what's wrong with women, and all these chicks ain't shit. And it's like, God damn. And these dudes are so loud that the dudes that's practical, and it's like, no, well, maybe, you know, why don't you listen to it? What's wrong with you, bro? Are you in shape? How you look? What's wrong? You know, what kind of attitude do you have? Are you controlling? Those guys like me that come, like my man said, I gave solutions and whatnot. Our voices ain't that loud because we're not out here screaming and beating on the wall and upset that somebody broke our hearts. And so I get it, Jen. We're all losers to you. I understand. Your boy Shannon the loser.
Why are you there? Because Ill Doctrine just said the entire Black manosphere are men socializing online based on trauma bonding, pickup artists based on not being able to get girls, Mr. Palmer based on child support, Kevin Samuels based on contempt. Then why are you there? If you were solution based, then why are you there if you are not also trauma bonding and helping other men that have been through trauma? Why are you there? Because let me qualify this by saying you said the pink pill. I'm guessing that the pink pill is the opposite. It's a bunch of Black women who talk about Black men all day, and some of them are nice, some of them hate them, like what's her name? Cynthia G. Some of them attack Black men all day, and some of them are probably nice. They're about solutions, like the way you are about solutions. But here's the thing. I'm about solutions too. What is it about me that none of those people could resonate me, that I don't need to group myself with them, that I don't even need to be in those circles, that I don't want to be called pink pilled or woman sphere? What is it about me? Because I talk about solutions too. I talk about what women have to do. I talk about what men should be doing. I talk about solutions too. But I don't need to be a part of these little demographics because, in my opinion, I don't have issues with men. Right? I don't have issues dating men or getting married if I want to get married, or being financially secure. I don't have those issues. So none of those pink pill people, even the ones about the solutions, I can't relate to any of them. So it's, again, you're the solutions guy, but to me, it's still manosphere light. What drives you to be a part of this manosphere? Is it the camaraderie? Do you feel like it's your bros before hoes? Like, why are you there? Why is it that some men are like, what the fuck is a manosphere? I'm taking care of my money, my family, my life. What the fuck I need with a manosphere? What say you about those men, about your little clubhouses, who look at your little clubhouses like, y'all a bunch of clowns over there? What do you say about that? What is it that brings you into that? I got to be a part of this little group because this group, it is, our voices are heard here. My father would never say, I need a place for my voice to be heard. My father would not, never. He was the epitome of masculinity. I wish my father would walk in our living room. Where's a space where I can have my voice heard? When my father spoke, we heard it. The people he worked with heard it. When he owned property, they heard it. Okay. So what is this? And it's the first time we got our voices heard. Who does this? What adult male does this? And then you wonder why women look at y'all crazy and get turned off.
The reason I'm there.
Man does that.
The reason I'm there and proud to be there is because men need help. I don't have a problem getting pussy. I don't have a problem with women. I have no issues with any of that. But there's a lot of men that do need help. I try to target the younger. No, just becoming. I'm really to try to teach young men to become great husbands. I want them to become better men. You know, and it really kicked off when my nephew, because I got a bunch of nephews, but I got one particular nephew that's just really shiftless. And it's just like, and then when I asked him to come over and get some game, and I've been a mentor to many people in my fraternity, you know, in my neighborhood right here in LA, you know, but it's never really gone farther than Facebook, Instagram. Kind of came to YouTube and was like, oh wow, I can reach more people here than I could on my own personal Facebook page, or I could on my Instagram page. But now at YouTube, the videos can be replayed because the way YouTube works is different than the videos that I was making at Facebook. And so you say, well, Shan, why are you there if you're solution based? Because a lot of people need solutions, Jen. A lot of men need solutions. And so when I got guys that's out there making mistakes like I did, because I was listen, you know, I'm twice married, twice divorced. I made bad mistakes. And I'm thinking, God damn, is there anything I can save somebody so they don't go through what I went through? Because if they treat their wife or do the mistakes that I made, they're going to end up divorced like me. I don't want that to happen. So I talk about these things on my channel, specifically to men. Like right now, I'm reading a book called Hold Your Nuts. You know, your non-negotiable, unalterable terms. These are things that men need to hear that they don't have. Why? Because dads wasn't around. I remember I'm Generation X. I'm 49. So a lot of guys my age just didn't, you know, they wasn't around. They didn't teach these boys. And so a 25-year-old man could be easily my son. You know what I'm saying? That's 23 years my junior. So if his dad wasn't there and all he got was his mother's tutelage, then let me go ahead and make a YouTube video. Let me join this band of manospherians, if you want to call it, to try to reach these guys. So by the time that they get to the marrying age, or by the time that they get somewhere, that they won't make the same mistakes that I made. So I'm there to help. Absolutely 100%. And I have no problem saying I'm part of the manosphere because I know that there's a lot of men that need that help. Now, there's other guys that's already gone through some shit and they're fucking pissed off. I could help them too. It's not about just a group. It's not a echo chamber of a bunch of dudes who's just mad at women. It's not that. I know you hear that. That's what's loud.
You just said you're in the minority though. You just said you're in the minority. So that means the majority is doing what, Shannon?
Am I? Oh, who said I'm in the minority? I did.
Yeah, you said you're
no. I said no. He said the loud. No, he said the loud minority. He said the loud minority.
Yeah, I said the ones that's beating and screaming are the loud minority.
They're not the loud minority. They're not the minority. They're the majority. They're the ones with the most followers.
Let me ask you something, Shannon.
Hey, Jen, I want to add something too. When the manosphere came out in its early stages, right? There were more things that you can learn than just about how to deal with women. There were guys out here that they were bringing on investors and guys from other nations and stuff. And they were giving out some real good information. I'm talking about even small stuff like car wash products, haircuts, and this type, barbers and all this kind of stuff. You were seeing all types of man stuff. It turned into a clown show recently here in the past 7 or 8 years when all these new cats latched on. When a certain guy came to the scene and just took it over because he was 10 times more raw than everybody else. And you know, black people like controversy and BS. So everybody went there. And everybody saw that wave and how he grew and said, wait a minute, I can do this. So now you got all these unheard of nondescripts that came along later on down the line and corrupted the whole movement. They actually used that word, manosphere. So they've corrupted the movement with brothers like the brother right here and some of the others that were around when it first started. So it was corrupt. It started off as a good thing. You would not have hated it in the beginning.
Shannon, let me ask you something, man. First of all, everything that you just said, I'm all for that. You know what I mean? I think that there are a lot of brothers out there who do need guidance. There are a lot of brothers out here who just lost, and due to the fact that there are lost, they're in a space of desperation. And sometimes, you know, I mean, sometimes that loud minority might sound a lot more appealing to them because it gives them a platform to express their frustrations. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I mean, when if you're down on your luck, you know what I mean, just enough, you know what I mean, a shot of whiskey sounds a lot better than some water and some fruit. And the water and some fruit would do you a lot better, but that shot of that whiskey, trust me, man, listen, you know what I mean? And it is what it is. Now, what I have to say to you is that let's look again by using the police metaphor. Okay, yeah, we can sit here and say that, yeah, there are some good cops and blah, 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 so on and so forth. But the problem and the cancer that is within the police force, it can best be corrected from the inside.
From within.
The inside. So what I'm saying to you, brother, so obviously you see where I'm going with this. For you and brothers like you, if you don't stand up and lead a crusade against these other brothers and these other idiots who are actually, you know what I mean, pulling everyone in the, you know, wrong direction, that's not beneficial to you. Okay, that's only going to.
Shannon is not going to do that. He is not going to go to battle or war for men that are attacking women and talking about hitting. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's not interested in doing that. I have to agree with Il Doctrine. It is trauma bonding. He's twice divorced, so he's looking for those guys that may or may not be married or they're about to. It is trauma bonding. I want to respond to Eric, Era Black TV. Dude, you sound stupid. And here's why you sound fucking stupid, talking about why do I care so much. The topic today was, is body count a broke man's gripe? It wasn't about the fucking manosphere, but as with most panels, the conversation goes every which way. I have interviews on my channel. I have women talking about resentment on my channel. I talk about men. I talk about women. You are obviously not familiar with this fucking channel. I don't give a fuck about the manosphere. I don't subscribe to the manosphere or the pink pill. I just heard the pink pill today for the first time my entire fucking life. I don't subscribe to any group of people that have to congregate because the world did them wrong. That is not me. That has never been me. That will never be me. I don't do trauma bonding. I don't give a fuck about this. If you weren't clear before, I do not give a fuck about this. I am making observations. That is it. That is what I see. Now, if you don't like what I see, then say that. But when I say I see what I see at the manosphere, that is what I see. If you feel, if I hit you in the feels because you're part of the manosphere and you're standing up for it, that's your issue, not mine, because my opinion will not change. But I have a variety of things going on my channel. So I don't know what you're talking about. Why do I care so deeply about this? I fucking do not. Okay.
Comedians, strippers, everything.
I talk about everything on my channel. And these people are so hell bent on this manosphere shit. The shit is like religion to them. It is literally in the same vein of me telling a Christian Jesus wasn't real. It is the same argument. Just take Jesus out of it and throw in Kevin Samuels. It's the same fucking argument, but it's real. The word simp is real. Body count is real. Hitting the wall is real. It's all real because Kevin Samuels told me it was real. Jesus is real. Jesus is real. He spoke to me. It is the same fucking argument. Just pull Jesus out of it and throw in Kevin Samuels. This is a fucking religion. It is a cult to some of these motherfuckers. And you mean to tell me that I can't make an observation that you motherfuckers sound like a bunch of losers who are batshit crazy? I can't make that observation. I can't do that. Like y'all sound fucking crazy. You have a whole language for it. You are wearing the uniform. You speak the language. It's just like a Christian. God said, God woke me up this morning. Kevin Samuel said, it's the same fucking thing. It is your religion. So I'm just saying, just the same way I speak about Christians and what I see, I'm saying what I see in the manosphere. And if you notice, Christians will say, we're not all the same. All Christians are not all the same. I'm not a hypocrite. Those Christians over there, it's the same fucking thing. It's people who subscribe to a fucking lifestyle. And when you have a bunch of fuck-ups over there, the person wants to disassociate. It's the same thing we see here today. I'm not one of those losers. I talk about solutions. It is the same dynamic. It's the same exact dynamic. I'm manosphere, but I'm not the manosphere that says hit women. I'm manosphere, but I'm not the manosphere that says women hit the wall. It's the same shit. It's the same shit as religion. I'm a Christian, but I don't think homosexuality is abomination. Like it's the same shit. It's like constantly looking for where to belong. It's a constant longing and a needing to look to belong somewhere, to bond with somebody. And I'm not from that cloth. I'm not cut that way. So don't get mad at me because I'm not cut that way. Stand on your fucking Kevin Samuel square. Stand on your manosphere square. And don't let me affect you so much. That's all.
I just want to say something to Era Black.
Don't let me affect you so much because I'm always going to think this about y'all. Nothing will ever change it. You could type in caps. You could give me 50. I will always see y'all that way. Forever. Nothing's ever going to change it. So you decide whether you want to come to my channel again or not. Because nothing you ever say will ever fucking change that I see y'all a certain way. It's no different than religion. If I'm an atheist, what the fuck makes you think that I give a damn that you guys are sucking some freaking manosphere clowns with 1 million followers? If I don't care about your Jesus, what makes you think I give a fuck about your Kevin Samuels? Y'all sound crazy right now. And this is why you turn women off. This is what you don't want to accept. While you crying about the manosphere and women hitting the wall and body counts, that dude over there is smashing the chick you want. That is a fact. It will never change. That will never change. While you over here trauma bonding with the other losers, yeah, that's right, women hit the wall. Yeah, that's right, she wears a wig. Yeah, that's right, she ain't dick. While y'all are doing this over here, dudes are fucking and marrying over there. That will never change. But what the fuck are you talking about? Why I care so much? I don't give a fuck about this. This is a whole different conversation about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. That's where it started. That is what I was talking about. Give a fuck about your gods and your new Jesus for the week. And I said before, the manosphere is the new religion. You motherfuckers don't go to church. Everybody left the church. The church is now on YouTube. The church is now on YouTube. Matter of fact, y'all come to YouTube and pray over these motherfuckers more than you ever did church. So it's even worse. It's even worse here. This religion is in your bed. Y'all haven't even subscribed to Jesus or the Bible the way you subscribe to some of these clowns that run these channels. But please do not hit me with the, well, now men have a space to talk. My uncles had a space to talk. My father had a space to talk. My father ain't never walked in the room and not felt heard. So get the fuck out of here. Man,
hey, Jen, I want to enlighten y'all on something, right?
You think my father didn't have problems? Like,
hey, Jen, I want to enlighten y'all on something, right?
It's the feminization of the black man, whether you like it or not. The manosphere is making y'all effeminate. Whether you like it or not. This whole, we need a space to talk. Like, it is making you effeminate. And women will always like masculine men. Women will always like masculine men, period, point blank, till the end of time.
Yo, Reese, before you state something, Shannon, can
Don't
you
fucking,
answer the question that I
don't fucking
stated?
annoying. Like y'all are annoying. It's like
I
talking
got
to
you.
women.
We got you,
Can
Jen.
you answer that? Can you answer the question that I stated? If you Shannon.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just looking at Jen. She's
Pow, pow.
My gun don't sound like pow pow. I got a bigger gun for the record.
Within, it's interesting. The first thing that popped to mind when you was like, Shan, the only way you could fix this shit is from within, like anything, right?
Yeah, man.
That's where they talk about right now. I mean, the big talk now is the manosphere is splitting up and people is quitting and saying, I ain't claiming this. And you got people who, Angry Man is fighting with Obsidian and all and these people and then
Yeah, I
you
see
got
it. Yeah, I see it.
and so they just splitting up. My thing, and Jen, I guess I gotta really say Jen nailed me. Am I gonna be the one to come in and sing the kumbaya and try to fix? No, I ain't letting none of that happen. First of all, I'm new here. I'm a rookie in this law enforcement game, right? And so it's like I'm just looking and seeing who's who and why y'all fighting and why y'all fighting at all and what's going on and what you here for the money and you here to try to fix people and you here to figure out how to get some pussy. I'm just trying to learn everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so yes, it does need to be, but maybe it'll just work itself out. See, a lot of this stuff will just work itself out. Like a lot of people will just I hope that's be the case. Is that normally how it works? No. But I'm praying.
No.
I'm
Shannon,
hoping
it's not
that
gonna work itself out. There has to be a crusade.
And it probably does, and that's where they, like you guys mentioned, was there there was the Manosphere meetup, the Black Manosphere meetup, the one that happened last year. They're doing it again this year in Texas in November, and so the first one last year was in Atlanta. I didn't go, but I'll be at the one in Texas. I'm speaking at Obsidian's in June, and so just like religion, you got Jehovah Witness. Now, all these people read the Bible. You can go get the King James Bible, same print from cover to cover. But then you got Jehovah's Witness, you got Seventh-day Adventists, you got the Catholics, then you got the Pentecostal, then you got the Baptists. All these people is kind of Christian, but some of them ain't kind of Christian, and some of them believe in the Bible, but we don't believe in the Old Testament. But we got rid of the Old Testament. We don't listen to that. We listen only to the New Testament after the Sermon on the Mount.
Hold on, Shannon. Era Black TV. Never heard of you, don't know you. You in my chat, so you pressed. I don't know who the fuck you are or what tree you fell out of, but you're pressed because you're in my chat. I've never been to your channel. I don't know who the fuck you are. You're pressed because you're in my chat crying about the manosphere. So who's pressed, me or you? I don't fucking know you, sir. You are crying in my chat about your zaddies, about your online zaddies. Wow. Okay, so you're pressed. I'm not pressed. You're pressed. You're sitting in my chat defending your online zaddies. So you're pressed, not me, sir. And prove to me you're not pressed. Get the fuck out my chat. Y'all are not safe here. I don't know why you bitch-made dudes think y'all safe on my panel and in my chat. Y'all are not safe here. I am not your mother or your baby mother. I don't have to tolerate you. I do not have to tolerate you. There's no trauma bonding here. There's no Kevin Samuel snacks given out here. There's nothing here for you. So if you are here and I think you're a loser, then you are pressed, sir. Not me. You are. Say some other shit and get blocked. I suggest you zip your lip and enjoy the show. Because it's so much fun here. It's so much fun here. But tread lightly because I'll block your ass right through the uprights. You are not safe here. I do not care. I do not care. Too many of you think that you have to be tolerated because you have a fucking keyboard. I don't have to tolerate you. How the fuck is somebody make it make sense? How the fuck are you in my chat for the past hour crying about your cyber zaddies, but I'm pressed? How does that work? I don't understand how that works. How am I pressed and you're in my chat beating off, right? Channel. How am I pressed? I don't fucking understand this. I don't fucking understand. I am not, listen. thank the universe for my father, so I got to fucking witness what a man is, what masculinity is. Because I feel sorry for the women that are out here and single and looking for men. If y'all are the group they picking from, this shit is scary out here. It's like getting in relationships with women. It's like women having women to choose from, except y'all own penises. Shit is scary.
So Shannon,
your fucking asses in my chat for the past hour with the other buffoon Roy Chess crying about your cyber zaddies. How am I pressed? Y'all are weirdos, and nobody's telling you. I'm gonna
they
tell
still
you
clicks though.
Here.
Don't worry about them dudes. They clicks.
They fucking weird, but they fucking weirdos. It's weird. Like, it's weird.
everybody, and you know, every he said in the chat, every dude that shows up on these channels, on these female channels, is basically a simp or whatever. Homie, I've tried to actually jump onto some of these, you know what I mean, male spaces. You know,
I go on all of them.
For some strange reason, nobody wants me around because I don't sit around, you know what I mean, with the circle jerks. You know what I mean? I actually, you know, actually have no problems standing in a room full of dudes with my own opinion, man. You know what I mean?
Let me
I'm
share
not gonna
something
sit
with my
here
man too.
He's the leader of the manosphere. What leader? He said he's the leader of the manosphere. What fucking leader, cornball, would be in
Who
my
said that, yo? Who said that? Who said that?
E Black. No, not E Black. Excuse me. What's his name? E Black
Era
TV.
Black TV. He said he's the
Era
leader.
Black TV. Era Black TV.
Super Sly.
I don't think I've ever talked to him before.
You already know. But I'm like, you're not the leader of shit. You're not even the leader of your own life. That's why you are.
Oh shit.
That's why you are in my chat right now at this time of night. That's why you're not screwing nothing. That's why you're not making no financial plans right now. You are in my chat. You're not the leader of shit. Go try leading your own life.
So Shannon, listen. If you ever decide to go down that road that we just discussed, I would love to actually support you. It might be a road that I, you know what I mean, actually go down, you know what I mean? Because it seems like that's a niche that's important to actually explore, because there's just something that needs to be done, because it's in your best interest, and it's in the best interest of gentlemen such as yourself that the loud majority does not become the face of the community. Or I would suggest maybe to detach yourself from that. You know what I mean? You be your own independent entity. It's entirely on you, of course. But what I'm saying is that by attaching your brand to that, and as it continues to proliferate, and the perceptions and the hype and so on and so forth surround it, and people start attaching names like incel to it, and you know, I mean, violence and so on and so forth, and people start doing things like that. Again, these things don't work for people such as yourself who have genuine intentions, because with all your genuine intentions, they're just going to see you, well, as just another one of those quote unquote good cops.
I say this, a lady 747. Thank you, Matt. You're absolutely
What did you say,
right.
I said guilty by association.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And you don't, I just, for some strange reason, like, I don't know you. You know what I mean? I've seen a couple of your talking points, so on and so forth. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. You seem like you actually have something to offer. You know, not only just not just the manosphere space, but just the YouTube space in general. And my thing is, like, it would just behoove you, from my perspective, to basically put yourself in the best position possible. And that's just my opinion. Hey, Ken, Jen, won't you let Pop Cam up?
Who?
Pop presents Walter. Yeah, POP. Won't you let him cam up, man?
POP, you want to cam up? I'll drop the link. Let me say what you just said. I want to address something you said, Haran. And I don't listen. We're all still kind of green in the YouTube spaces. Shannon can do whatever the fuck Shannon wants to do. Let's be clear, right? He could be part of any group. He could do whatever he wants. But there is camaraderie and power in saying your manosphere, right? Because you got the guys that are doing it big and making big money. So there is power in it, right? The only way one of the good guys, one of the good apples would get out of it is, let's say if the FBI or the CIA said, we running down on everybody that's claiming the manosphere, all the good guys, they would drop that shit like this. They would
Somebody got a lawsuit against them. You know that, right?
They would, I know, but they would never utter the word manosphere again, because now it doesn't benefit them and it could fuck with their life and their livelihood. They would drop it like this. But long as saying you're part of the manosphere attached to certain names that are doing very, very well financially, and you get to meet up at the groups and the expos and the conventions, that's part of a big deal. Like I've gone to a lot of expos living out here on the West Coast. Them expos and conventions are serious. So they're not going to drop it.
Wait, pause.
They're not,
you in New York.
Let me finish my, I'm not in New York. I'm not in New York. I'm on the West Coast. Let me finish my point. So they're not going to, my opinion, they're not going to drop that from what they're doing, because there is power in being part of that group. They don't care about the maniacs like Angry Man and what, they don't care about those maniacs. They care about the people that look, they're looking like something, like the Kevin Samuels is and all the there's power in it. They wouldn't drop it unless the FBI or the CIA said, we coming down we're going to put cases on all you manosphere motherfuckers. Then you would really see people, I ain't got nothing to do with the manosphere. I never said, I'm not claiming the manosphere. Then you'd see them separate themselves. But long as they could benefit from being at that convention and being a speaker and keynotes and doing keynotes, like, they're going to continue doing it. Shannon's not about to raise a rebellion against the manosphere to show he's one of the good guys and pull up the good guys. It's not going to happen. And it's okay. I'm not saying it in a credit. I'm not trying to criticize you, but I'm like, that's what it is. Like, let's not be disingenuous. That's what it is. It's like law enforcement. It's like religion. Like it's a group thing. That's what it is. And I'm not expecting you to, nor do I think anybody should be looking at you to be some sort of hero, to be like, look, I represent the good guys in the manosphere. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We're making observations. Like, I don't care about these idiots in my chat, but I'm making observations. And they don't like the observations, but these are my observations.
No, I get it. Just like some people become cops because they were bullied in high school, or they were bullies in high school, or they couldn't, they were the nobodies, and they want to be able to kick around people with a badge now and do it legally, right? There's some people that get it, that some people that have good intentions on becoming police officers, and then they get in and they get corrupted once they in, right? They get in and they like, damn, you mean we could do shakedowns? I didn't know we could. I mean, I saw it on TV, but I didn't know I can make an extra 100,000 a year doing a shakedown on some of these dope deals. And then you got some guys that come in and just really want to save a cat out the tree, want to arrest the criminals, and want to make sure the streets are safe, right? Good cops need to identify the bad cops, turn them in. I understand all of that, and I hear what you're saying, Shannon. You're saying, look, Shannon, if you keep hanging with some of these clowns that's out here claiming the manosphere, but not doing like my man. What's my man? I keep saying, what's my man name with the Philly hat?
Reese.
Like Reese said, but Shannon, I hear you coming in on that old school manosphere principle, but then you associating yourself with these new school guys who's just coming up and just claiming the badge, and then they out there robbing, shaking down, and they crooked cops, bruh. They ain't nobody gonna differentiate you between that. I know, but I have faith. I got faith, man, because yeah, I got faith because I believe.
Quick question.
This is again. Oh, go ahead.
Quick question. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. All right,
because I believe, even though Jen says it isn't, I believe it's a loud minority. And here's what's important: of the ones that are speaking and have a channel and are content creators and is actually camming up or is miking up and posting a video, that's way less than the ones that's listening. It's not. I only have 3,000 followers. It ain't 3,000 channels. But if Kevin has 1 million people following him, all these people have hundreds of thousands, and it ain't 100,000. It ain't 100,000 content creators. So the thing is, am I helping more than the ones that are out here talking crazy? I think so. I think I'm helping more young men. I'm helping men my age. I'm helping men that need to become masculine. I'm helping men that just don't have answers, or living in an area that there's absolutely no spaces or circles or anybody to even talk to or have, because they call me. You know, they call me. They like, man, let me just tell you about what my wife did, and I'm like, bro, you know, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed. I just want to talk to someone. I watched your video, and I don't have anybody to call, and that's what happens. And it's like, well, tell me about it. Next thing you know, I'm sitting on the phone listening. I don't even say a word. I don't get a word in edgewise, but I just did 1 hour and 15 minutes of somebody venting. Did I save a life? I don't know. Did I save his life? Did I prevent somebody deleting themselves? I don't know. Did I prevent somebody deleting somebody else? I don't know. All I know is that they just need somebody to talk to, because they somehow identify, or they like how I speak, or they just, you know what I'm saying? I got salt and pepper like you, man, and I figured I could talk to a brother like you. We probably would have been boys in high school. I hear all kind of stuff, and they do this all the time. So I think there's more people listening, and I'm helping more people than it is these crazies out here, these crazy right wing or crazy left wing motherfuckers that's out here claiming to be manosphere, but is out here talking crazy manosphere points.
Well,
and that's why
they're not helping anybody. They're not helping anybody. What they do
Jen, I just want to say something real quick.
These dudes that come to my chat, that's all they do is they set them off and send them out into the world. And I gotta fucking deal with them over here. That's all they do. That's all
Jen,
they're
real quick,
not helping. Yes.
Jen, I just want to say something real quick. Just a direct comment, just sending a direct comment to Arrow Black TV.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. You know what I mean? Let me know wherever you are. You know what I mean? Whatever spaces you actually occupy, because I just subscribed to your page. Let me know whatever spaces you occupy, because I would actually love to be on whatever panel you're actually on, so we could actually have a discussion. You, me, and the rest of whoever you want me to have a discussion with. So, you know, just let me know that, homie. That, Jen.
Okay.
And my man wanted to ask me a question, I think.
Who? Reese?
Oh no,
right
yeah, you pretty much
okay.
summed it up for me. Yeah,
okay.
you pretty much.
I want to say that's a good. Before you ask him, Haran, Shannon, I wanted to say that's dope. Like, that's a good thing that you are someone that somebody could call when they're in need emotionally. Like, that's completely different than the other shit I was talking about. I think that's commendable. That's dope, because people do need people to talk to. And when I talk about masculinity and men, and, you know, what my father was like, I'm not saying that men shouldn't have emotions. I'm not saying that men shouldn't have feelings. I'm not saying that men shouldn't have a sounding board. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the manosphere, whatever you want to say, the loud minority, they're effeminizing men. Men are becoming too emotional. Men are being reactive too much to things that a regular man would just walk off. Now they want to talk all the time. Now they want to figure things out all the time instead of being men. And it's like, how the fuck do I figure this out? But I do understand needing, especially in this environment that we're in now with social media, with all the pressures, men do need men. And I love that concept. But what's happening to a lot of men on social media is feminizing, is what's happening. It is what's happening. Like, some of the discussions I get into with certain men, I'm like, it feels like I am talking to a woman. They're going in circles. I'm a very black and white person. What's the problem? Let's get to the solution. The word salads, like Roy Chess earlier. That's how I feel talking to my 16-year-old niece. Like, baby, what is the problem? No, auntie, but it's like, I feel like I'm not even talking to men when I talk to a couple of these dudes. That is what I'm talking about. I'm definitely not saying men shouldn't have emotions and have other men to talk to. I think that's commendable. Hats off to you for that. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about all this other crap that I see. And again, that whole pink pill thing, like, there are women that I unsubscribe to because all they had to say was black men ain't it, black men ain't it. I'm like, you don't get tired? of talking about what black men ain't. Like, how do you even wake up in the morning, right? So it's the same. It's the same on both sides. I don't like when women do it, and I loathe extra when men do it, because I consider men to be leaders. They should lead all the time. I'm not one of those women that gives men passes like, oh, you can't lead this up. No, men are leaders, point blank, period. Every other race and every other ethnicity, their men lead. That's just how it is. And even if they're broke, you look at a Mexican family, even if they're dead broke and they got 10 kids, that man still leads that broke family. So I'm like, I can't do the excuses, but I get men need a sounding board, but I don't believe these are sounding boards. I believe these are like little reject clubhouses, and they're irritating. They're irritating.
Hey, I noticed something, Jen. So I go on live streams every day, right? This is what I do. And I've run into a lot of women that are not so much talking red pill talking points, but they're like advocates for men, and at the same time, you know, preaching betterment for women and fitness tips and all this type of stuff and how to be better wives. More than half of them are married. I've met dozens of them. There's a new wave and a new army coming on the YouTube with a whole different narrative, and they are growing fast, and people love them. And on top of that, 90% of them is all baddies too. There's a new army coming to YouTube, and I'm telling you, they're gonna come right. They're gonna come right down the middle. Huh?
I have a theory about them, but continue.
Listen, they're growing, and they're saying some good shit, and a lot of men love them. I'm telling you, and they're coming through right down the middle.
That's my theory right there, right? If I had a set of implants, right, and a little stomach because I wear a waist trainer all day and a fat ass, and I sit here and tell y'all that y'all deserve the world and these women better be good wives and X, Y, and Z, you gonna fill my super chats, are you not? So these women are not dumb anymore. They're not fighting y'all anymore. They're joining the people that are throwing the super chats their way. So that's what, of course, there's a new army coming up. These chicks are trying to get paid, and they know all they got to do is tell a bunch of incels, baby, it don't matter that you fat and short and ugly.
No, they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
Well, I've seen two in particular that are baddies, and they talk just like that. They bash women all day.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And men like hearing women get bashed. They don't care if it's men doing the bashing. They don't care if it's women doing the bashing. They just enjoy seeing women, specifically Black women, get bashed.